Yes, good afternoon and welcome to the NPL South Australia Round 12 action today between the Para Hills Knights, who host the Croydon Kings, and we are live from the paddocks. Round 12 of NPLSA is proudly presented by Kanga Coachlines. Kanga Coachlines are the preferred transport supplier for Football Federation SA, and Kanga will transport up to Loxton, the clubs, for the FFSA regional round for when Adelaide United Youth take on the Adelaide Comets, and reminding you that's in 2 weeks' time. Kanga, our official transporter. And don't forget also the RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. You can get an insurance quote from the RAA today. And also on board with our sponsorship team, Claymore Wines. Yes, they are here today. Spells wasn't thirsty, so they've made it here. Our man of the match, our Claymore Wines man of the match. And as announced by the FFSA last week, Claymore Wines will donate $1 from every bottle of Claymore Wines purchased at participating outlets to a women's football fund. So visit the FFSA website for more information. Today's commentary team out here at the paddocks, we have Paul Pellizzari with Tony Lascala and our special comments and statistician Andrew Sperling. It's a very good afternoon to you, Tony.
Good afternoon, Paul, and good afternoon, everyone. And Paul, after yesterday's downpour, we've got a beautiful day. Conditions look great out there, and there's no reason why we shouldn't see a great match today.
Absolutely, and it's a very good afternoon to our special comments and statistician Andrew Sperling.
Hello, gentlemen. It's just to reiterate those words, absolutely spectacular. 17, 18 degrees. Still on a beautiful paddocks pitch. Should be a cracker.
Yes, round 12 action this week thanks to Kanga Coachlines, the official transport of the FFSA, and thanks to Dry Creek Auto Wreckers. We go down to our boundary rider Ryan Marveggio, who I think isn't too far away from us today. Where the hell is he hiding?
I'm hiding with a bit of sun, actually. I agree with the sun is beautiful
beaming
down here. Yeah, it's beaming down here. I'm actually had my jacket on. I've actually had to take my jacket off because I started getting a few sweat patches under my armpits. So it's beautiful down here. The pitch is in good condition. I just had a little bit of a walk on there. It's not too wet underfoot. So I expect to see a good game of football today.
Absolutely. Let's also acknowledge our other match day sponsors.
And as we said, Dry Creek Auto Wreckers bring Ryan to you, of course. They're at Wingfield, McCormick Road, Wingfield. So Adelaide Wrecking Yard, stocking second-hand and rebuilt parts. Go and see them there on Cormac Road, Wingfield. Top Goal Scorer of the Year award is brought to you by the OAS Group. OAS Group provides a range of construction, building and design, and of course renovation. Ryan Marveggio, Anthony Di Bartolomeo and Diego Barbaro are the professionals to help you build your dream home. Give them a call. The stats are brought to you by Chemist King Hectorville, 84 Glenburn Road, Hectorville. Go and see Michael Uccello for a range of pharmaceutical products. Around the Ground scores brought to you by West Beach Pizza Bar, 699 Burbridge Road at West Beach for your mouth-watering, delicious pizzas. And the Player of the Year is brought to you by Live Streaming Australia. If you're looking for live streaming, your sports events, or corporate functions or business seminars, see the experts at LSA Live Streaming Australia. Give Andrew Sperling a call on 0418 847 125.
Okay, gentlemen, let's have a look at round 11 results of the NPLSA. Of course, what happened last week, Adelaide Comets there 2-1 over Adelaide City. Bit of a surprise result there, gentlemen, or is it not? Was it 1v2 last week?
Well, look, I don't think it's a surprise. Comets are a pretty good outfit, Paul, and you know, those type of games can go either way. I mean, Adelaide City has been enjoying a great run so far, but the Comets are a very good team, so I wouldn't say it was a huge surprise.
Croydon Kings 2-1 victors over Sturt Lion. They were involved in today's game, of course, the Croydon Kings. Metro Stars 3-0 over Para Hills Knights, who are also involved in today's broadcast match. I won't say match of the round, and we'll talk about that later if time permits. Adelaide Olympic 1 were defeated by South Adelaide 2. We covered that last Saturday night. Spells a very entertaining game, wasn't it?
We loved it, didn't we? We loved it. You know, and that's probably the beauty again. We haven't seen South Adelaide very much, and that was the whole idea of trying to bring them to the people and expose each club. And we were really impressed with them, weren't we?
We were. And all 11 rounds, that means the first half of the season's gone, so I think we've covered
just about everyone. Yep.
Yeah. West Adelaide nil were defeated by Campbelltown City 3. Campbelltown going along their merry way. And Adelaide United, in what I would say is a shock result, lost 2-1 to West Torrens Burkalla.
Yeah.
Burkalla 3 wins on the bounce.
They got an American player in. I wish I'd sort of had more detail, etc. I just know that they've stocked up a little bit, and we saw them earlier in the year, and it was extremely highlighted that they were a little light on. So they seem to have balanced up,
Certainly,
and away they go.
Okay, after those results, let's have a look how the premiership table looks in NPL South Australia. And on top of that table is the Metro Stars with 30 points. Campbelltown City in second with 25 points. Adelaide City, surprisingly, have dropped to third spot with 24. The Comets in fourth spot with 23 points. Adelaide United Youth in fifth spot with 16, holding their own. And West Adelaide make up that top six with 16 points also. Just outside the top six, Croydon Kings, chance to bridge that gap, because even with a win today, they won't get in there. They're in seventh spot with 12. As are West Torrens Burkalla with 12 points in 8th spot, and South Adelaide with 12 points also in 9th spot. Adelaide Olympic with 11 points in 10th spot, and Para Hills Knights really wanting a win today just to get out of that relegation zone, possibly in 11th spot with only 9 points, and Sturt Lion holding up the table with only 4. So congestion there of a few clubs there on 12 points, and Adelaide Olympic with 11. So very crucial in how things pan out in today's round 12. Okay,
absolutely, Paul, yeah.
Round 12, up on screen there for you, of course. The Panthers hosting Adelaide City, 3 o'clock kickoff. And Campbelltown hosting Metro Stars. That, I think, is the match of the round.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry to go back to that first game, but was that 10-0 or 10-1 or something, that first game?
Time round, yeah.
So it'll be interesting. You know, I know it's a...
last week, it won't be 10-0.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's an easy thing to sort of just try to relate it to a scoreline, but hey, it will give us some idea, I think. And Adelaide City, who are sort of all of a sudden just, you know, not in the greatest of form last few weeks and taken a few losses.
But Paul, yeah, the surprising one, first place second at the moment. That would be the match of the round for my liking. But we're here in the paddocks, and it's going to be entertaining.
When you drove in today.
Well,
share it with our viewers and listeners.
I actually got asked, can I ask you a question? Somebody said, what are you doing here when you've got top versus second at Campbelltown City? Well, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, all we can do is the game of that we're given, Paul, and this is the game, and I'm sure that we're going to have a cracker here too. And it's an important game for these two clubs if you look at it. I mean, as you said, Para Hills really need to win today to try to stay in this major league. And Croydon, who've had a really disappointing year so far, Paul, they need to win to try and make that top 6.
3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. Tomorrow, West Torrens Burkalla host the Comets. Also, and that's at 3 o'clock, 3:15, Adelaide United Youth host Sturt Lion. And also tomorrow at the Velo Football Centre at 5 p.m. kickoff, West Adelaide host Adelaide Olympic. Greek Derby, I think that was our broadcast match in round 1. Yeah.
You say that, but obviously they're in the FFSA Cup final, Croydon. So they've been running 2 competitions. You know, they've been doing this on us a little bit, sort of in the first 2/3 of the season, just seemingly meandering, and then, you know, able to get their mojo together and get it right when you need to. So, again, that's the challenge for them. And Para Hills, as we've covered them a few times in the last couple of years, lost a lot of players and just trying to rebuild and balance back up again.
Okay, let's go through the team lineups. Our apologies, Mr. Peppercelli not with us here in South Australia, that is. Of course, he is with us on planet Earth, but he's up in Brisbane, Queensland, with his lovely sister, having some family time up there. So, Rob, if you're listening or watching, how's it going up there? Beautiful one day, perfect the next?
Oh, he's a lucky man.
But hence, we have no graphics for you on the screen because Mr. Pepper is our man with the graphics for the clubs. Anyway, let's have a look at the team lineups. Para Hills, the home team. Then goals is Timothy Ramsey, wearing number 2 today, Carter Bailey. Number 3, Matthew Marchioro. Number 9, Michael Giacomte. Number 10, Luke Colalancia. Yeah, that's right. I think sometimes we cut out one of the L's. Colalancia. Number 11, Andrew Butler. Number 15, Pierce Stevens. Number 17, Mohamed Samauro. Number 18, Pietro Piantadossi. Number 21, Isaac Mullen. And the captain, number 23, Tyler Bailey. Reserves for Para Hills Knights, number 6, David Biar. Number 8, Shinya Yoshida. number 12, Shante Mayol, number 22, Tyson Herriman, and the reserve keeper for the Para Hills Knights is Dill Chamberlain.
And looking at Croydon in goals, Nicholas Munro, number 2, John Panagaris, number 4, Alex Sanaski, number 5, James Skeffington, number 7, Alazan Toure, number 9, Nicola Intieri, number 10, Luke Klimek, who is the captain, number 11, Patrick Caraccia, number 12, Yared Abitu, number 18, Jared Brazali, and number 20, Adrian D'Alfonso. On the bench, Guy Miller, Kieran Stokes, Domenico Costanzo, and the reserve goalkeeper. Sorry, I've got Adam Martinello.
Oh, sorry, he's just the normal reserve.
Normal reserve, yes. And the reserve goalkeeper is Gianni Tremonton.
And today's matchday officials, our senior referee is Aaron Galanti. His assistants are Henry Day and Sean Langmaid Taylor. Okay, boys, in readiness. Before we go through the selections, I'll just give you a little bit of a head-to-head with these two. Of course, they met in the Cup, where it went 2-2 after normal time, if you could say, or extra time, and Croydon won on penalties. Prior to that, Para Hills beat Croydon Kings 4-1 earlier in the year. That would have been round 1, you would imagine. And prior to that, Croydon beat Para Hills Knights back in 2017, 1-0. But the form of these two teams isn't good reading, although if you bring the FFA Cup qualifiers into it, Croydon at least have had a win. Well, they beat Sturt Lion 2-1, but do you rate that much? But they beat Blue Eagles 3-1 in the FFA Cup qualifiers, and Blue Eagles actually starting to find their form in the second tier.
Yeah, you're right there, Paul. As we said, this is an important game for both teams. As the teams make their way onto the field, it's an important game for both teams. Croydon to try and creep closer to that 6th position at least. And Para Hills really need to win, Paul, because otherwise they're looking at relegation.
Well, they are looking at relegation, even though a win here will really bring them up and congest the table just outside the 6. So it's probably more important Para Hills get a result today. We'll go around the table. My prediction today, Croydon a little bit decimated. Well, not decimated, but 2 big outs for me with Visconti and Radici. So I'm going for the Para Hills Knights here at home.
Yeah, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to go for a draw here, Paul.
A fence
A goal draw.
Oh,
yep.
So there'll be goals in it?
Well, there'll be goals.
I'm going to go for Croydon, boys.
Croydon, and then we'll go down to our boundary rider, thanks to Dry Creek Auto Wreckers. Ryan.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. 2 big outs in Visconti and Radici. Every time we sort of commentate Para Hills down here, they sort of put on a bit of a show for us. So I reckon both teams need the points, but I reckon Para Hills will just have it by the nose.
There we go. So mixed bag, and of course, coming up at half-time, there will be an interview with the president of the Para Hills Knights and possibly also the president of Croydon Kings in the Westside Messenger. Some big news there, of course, re the South Road development down there, having to find a new home or face extinction. That's the Croydon Kings. We'll hopefully have an interview with their pres at half-time.
Extinction? Such a famous club. Surely not.
Round 12, reminding you this Round 12 NPL South Australia action is proudly brought to you by Kanga Coachlines. Kanga will transport clubs up to Loxton for the FFSA regional round when Adelaide United Youth take on the Adelaide Comets. That's in 2 weeks' time, boys. And regional round, always exciting for the players and the spectators to make a family event of it. Get the family, go up and support your club, your team, wherever they might be playing.
Great service, Kanga. Beautiful coach lines and just wonderful. So jump on their website and book those tickets.
Boys, just before kick-off, just some news around the ground. Found out during the week that Damien Murray's been suspended for a game today for his match at Adelaide City for a few words that were said last week. Don't know the full ins and outs of the words, but he's been suspended for 1 match.
Thanks for that, Ryan.
Along with Nicholas Bucco.
Game underway here, round 12 action. Para Hills in their traditional white tops, black shorts, white socks. They'll be kicking to left of screen, and Croydon in the unfamiliar but becoming more familiar yellow strip. Going to right of screen for those of you watching through Facebook Live, welcome. Through YouTube Live, welcome. And those listening through Adelaide Web Radio, welcome aboard.
As Para Hills try to go forward now in possession, Mullen, he loses possession. Chance now for Croydon to go forward. Ball comes off of a Para Hills player, and it will be a throw into Croydon there.
He's been pretty good, Toure, just the last few weeks.
He's a good player. Just quite hasn't found his feet as much as what I thought he might have. Here's Croydon now. Sanaski takes the throw in. Here's an opportunity now for Jacomte. Get the ball across. Looking up there. He was looking there for Skeffington. Couldn't find him. He's still got the ball. Tries to get it across. Para Hills should clear here. They do on the far side with the ball. Para Hills now taking it as far as they can go. They want to go forward. But the marshal there in the middle of the ground, the captain for Croydon Kings, Luke Klimek, cleans up. Klimek again with the ball. Goes inboard. Croydon keeping possession at the moment. They try to go long. It should be cleared here. Not a good clearance. Skews off the head of one of the Para Hills players. Mercurio gets it forward now. Bailey goes forward. That should be a free kick, and the referee does signal that, and it'll be a free kick to Para Hills, the first one of the game. On a tackle there on Luke Colancia.
And that was Zabachu, the culprit. First free kick. These stats today brought to you by Chemist King Hectorville, as they always are. Bailey goes backwards. Mercurio, Para Hills from their defensive half. Get it up to the halfway line. Mercurio looking for the runners. Chacomte was the target, nowhere near him. Should be dealt with by the Croydon defence, but they've put it out of play, turning it over very quickly. Para Hills with possession, although they get pushed back. Mercurio now on the halfway line for Para Hills. Nice turn by Mullen. He receives back, and the referee's blown for offside. Yep. So first offside of the afternoon against Para Hills.
Sanaski now goes short, finds a B2, goes back to his goalkeeper in Munro. Back to a B2.
I like how you said that. It's a better pronunciation.
I'm not sure how you would do it. Karacha now for Croydon.
Abatu.
Sounds like a Star Wars
goes
character.
forward, Toure. Takes one on.
Oh.
Here's an opportunity for Croydon. That is a great save there by Ramsey.
Thierry.
And gee, should have put it away there.
Great save or terrible finish?
I think it was a terrible finish, I have to say.
Kudos with that. That's terrible finish.
Let's have a look at the replay, boys.
Should have put that away.
Give the goalkeeper some credit. Good work. Croydon through. Toure getting it central. Plenty of room in Terry. Plenty of time. That was bottom corner. I think give credit to the goalkeeper there, Ryan, if you watch the replay.
Credit to the keeper, yes, but striker's got to put that away.
Yeah, it was a good save, but striker should never miss from that position.
Oh, so Ronaldo's never missed from that position. So corner
Not very
kick.
often.
Croydon Kings, poor one, couldn't beat the first defender. Para Hills don't deal with it convincingly. It'll come back into the box, well weighted. McGreevy there at the back, or Skeffington it was, sorry. But he's got pressure from Samauro, trying to get out of their defensive zone, Para Hills. Good work there by Skeffington, keeping him deep. They should get out of it now, but only as far as Captain Klimek, who's turned it over cheaply. Mullen now plays it short. On the far side there. Who would that be?
Samauro.
Someone's gone down off the ball, and I reckon he's
just a little clip around the ankles.
Is there a clip there? It's just Samauro. Let's have a look. Who's that blondie there?
Trying to pick up his number.
Stevens.
Stevens, is
Pierce Stevens with a piercing hairstyle.
Got a new hairdo, Justin Bieber.
Oh, please. Para Hills in the middle of the park. Bit scrappy, but now Croydon should come away with it. They do. Abatu. Is that how you say it?
A B2.
A B2? A B2. I like
you
that.
Might be
I
right.
won't get familiar with that. A B2. Comes White Sanaski. Still in their defensive half, Croydon. 0-0 after 5 minutes in this round 12 action. Thanks to Kanga Coachlines. Brazzali now goes further wide to Panagaris. Panagaris under pressure, but he finds his captain, Klimek. This is Karachier now. Tried the through ball, but cut out, and Para Hills should come away with it.
Para Hills in the middle of the park. Bailey now. Gee, not a good pass. Here's an opportunity for Croydon now again to go forward. D'Alfonso. Not a good ball there, but luckily for him, it falls to Sanaski. Goes inboard, finds his captain there in Klimek. Sends a long ball forward, trying to find in Thierry there, couldn't do so. Para Hills want to clear this ball. Sanaski in the way, sloppy work at the moment by Para Hills in defence. Here's Toure now, goes all the way back to Sanaski. Probably wants to get it inboard, goes backwards now. Finds a B2, switches play. Brazali on the far side. Again, back to a B2. Sends it long, finds Toure. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't control that ball, and it'll be a throw in here to Para Hills.
No goals to report from around the grounds, thanks to West Beach Pizza Bar. Still 0-0 everywhere. 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow. Para Hills right in front of our commentary position. They turn it over. Bailey couldn't keep it in, ran out of line. So it'll be a throw into the Croydon Kings. 7v11 today. Desperation stakes for Para Hills. Good turn there. Carachia now for the Croydon Kings. He's doing it himself. Wanted an overlapping run, it never came. And in the end, it'll be Piantadossi that sees it over the line for a goal kick.
Robbie would have liked that one, a little pirouette, and sort of nearly stood on the ball and somehow got away as if it was a great turn. And that was one of the luckiest ever.
That was. As Para Hills go forward now.
Can't get it over the halfway line, can they?
Still in possession.
I heard you.
They go long through Bailey, but
Still
cut out there again by Croydon. Looking up there for Karacha, won't find him. Right near the commentary area now, Bailey with the ball. There's an opportunity for Macioro now, a lot of experience there. Goes to Bailey, back to Macioro. Tries to just steady. They wouldn't want to play around with it too much in that back line. They look a little bit unsure, Paul, in this first few minutes to Para Hills. Finally, they get it long. Looking up there for Butler. Couldn't find him. Now here's an opportunity for Para Hills.
Para Hills now through Chicomp there, trying to find Butler, but it's been cut out. Sanaski does well to get it back to his keeper. You're right, Tony. A little bit unsure of themselves. Probably more pressure on them in that 11th spot. It's not where Para Hills want to be. So it's the Croydon Kings now, just over the halfway line. Toure, beautiful control. Comes in boarding. Teddy couldn't control it, so Para Hills with the turnover. Butler, the recipient, goes backwards, puts his defender Bailey under pressure. Bailey does well, although Carachia there, good pressure, but offside was in Teddy, and that'll be a free kick, relieving free kick for the Para Hills Knights, deep in their defensive half. 8.5 minutes gone this first half. Round 12 action thanks to Kanga Coachlines, the official transport of the FFSA, especially for the regional round in a couple of weeks' time. They'll be taking up Adelaide United Youth and the Comets. So Ramsey with a kick, gets it well over the halfway line. Sanaski got his head on it. Toure gets one in the back, and that'll be a free kick. This is the same referee that was on last Saturday night, and just on the Facebook, someone referred to him as Sheldon.
Sheldon.
And when I was watching it back and I saw Sheldon, I started laughing to myself.
Croydon now.
And the white jacket came out.
There's a throw in now to Para Hills.
Kudos to the viewer there through Facebook Live.
Stevens.
Saw that resemblance.
With the blonde hair.
Another free kick.
And will be to Para Hills.
That's mounting up spells.
Not really.
No? Okay.
No.
Let's see if they can put some pressure here on the defence of Croydon. They haven't in this first a few minutes of the game. This is their first chance to put some pressure on. It will be Stevens on the far side.
First real attack on goal.
It is. Referee blows his whistle. Stevens now takes it, looking back post.
Oh.
Gee,
Had to tap it over.
Munro had to do a little bit of work there.
It's a save.
But the sun is quite strong out here. So in Munro's direction, it's been straight in his eyes. You can see he's wearing a cap at the moment.
Beautifully floated free kick. You're right. Just watching the replay there. Sorry, Ryan. Well floated free kick, and no one really applying the pressure to the keeper, which was strange. But he dealt with it. The sun was the pressure. So from the opposition side, it comes in. It's deep. Evades all players. and no real threat on goal.
It's actually a beautiful ball into the box. It just had no oncoming striker or player.
Post,
into that far post area. It was a great little ball. Keeper was, if the Para Hills player was there attacking that back post, the keeper had no chance to stop that.
Both these two teams, gentlemen, 16 goals they've scored each. 16-4 for Croydon and 16-4 for Para Hills. Croydon have conceded 19, Para Hills 25.
Yeah, they're not, both of them not overly high scoring
As Croydon now try to go forward. Here's an opportunity for Toure. Takes on Bailey. Can he get to that ball? He can't. The ball goes out. It'll be a corner now for Croydon. Was that their first?
That's their first.
Second. Second.
Second?
Yeah, I
Yes.
reckon
That
it's
first corner was from the
Far
terrible. Yeah, from this side, just
Of
the
course,
terrible
the
opportunity
save.
from the
Save.
from the strike, and good save by the keeper. But that was very good tracking back there by Butler, the winger, to stop the Toure run.
So Croydon now, right foot out swinger. That's a better one, but it's headed away by the Para Hills defence. Oh, that was a high foot there by Butler. Play on, says the referee, Klemic from distance. It's rebounded back to Panagaris, who chips it forward. Toure, the target, gets there. It's a good ball by Panagaris. Toure takes on the defender, gets the cutback. Who's there to meet it? It's just wide of the upright.
That was Karacha, I think. At the end of
Karachia,
that.
it certainly was. With a
Goal
hairstyle. Let's have a look at that on the replay. Toure did very well to cut that back. Karachia in the middle there. And Stevens maybe just doing enough to put him off. And just wide of the upright. Good goal attempt though by Croydon Kings. Still 0-0.
Typical defending there by your winger there, and Butler. He got easily done by Toure, but very good wing work there by Toure and put a beautiful ball into the box.
Yeah.
Certainly Croydon have had the best two chances so far in this game, as Ramsey now gets a long ball forward over the halfway line, but it goes straight out. We'll throw in here to Croydon. Be Sanaski to take this one. Alex Sanaski.
Referee Galanti just making sure he's taking it from the right place.
As he goes long, trying to find Toure, does so. Toure takes on a player, but comes off of Para Hills. It'll be another throw in here.
Carter Bailey.
Again, Sanaski.
Toure, the target, gets there. Three jockeying him. Goes back to Sanansky. Plenty of white shirts around the ball. Matkioro does well. Plays it short, and away come Para Hills through Butler. Butler now going for a bit of a gallop. Tries to find Jacomte there, didn't get there. Clement comes to do some defending, but in the end, Abatu sees it over the line. Someone's hurt. Off ball,
Toure.
Maybe just winded.
He's holding his collarbone shoulder area.
See if we can pick that up on the replay if there's a chance, but I didn't see anything on the ball, boys. If
They wouldn't want to lose another player there, Paul.
Especially not Toure.
Yeah, and he's been very effective so far in this first, what have we played, 14 minutes of this game?
He is holding that shoulder. He just got a little knock in it.
Don't know if it's been popped in, popped out. He's
might-
moving it around.
He might be okay. He
That's
might
what
be
he's
okay.
sort of intimating, isn't it?
Just with Para Hills boys, when they go forward, at least Croydon today is showing it, but when Para Hills go forward, they're not showing any purpose in their attack. It just feels like it's knocking forward and hope for something.
Bailey with the throw in, receives back. Sanaski tried to clear, couldn't. So it's Para Hills still with possession. The cross comes into the box, headed away by Panagaris. Here's a chance now for Croydon to break. D'Alfonso, too heavy on that touch. Good touch by Marchioro. Finds Butler. Butler plays it up the line. Good control. That's a foul, surely. Going the way of Kuala And another foul conceded by the Croydon Kings. In a very good position here for Para Hills.
Definitely put some pressure on the defence of Croydon here. We've probably been on top in this first 15 minutes or so. Para Hills now getting ready to take, it will be Tyler Bailey, captain of Para Hills, to take this free kick.
Quickly going around the ground, sorry Tony.
Yeah, go for
Interesting scoreline. Campbelltown 2, Metro Stars 0.
Wow, that's an amazing.
They've just gone bang, bang.
As Para Hills get ready to take, there'll be a shot here. Not a good one. That was Stevens. There's an opportunity now for Para Hills.
Jacomte.
And it will be a goal kick. And just getting back to Campbelltown, Paul, let me tell you that Metro Stars do not have a good record at Campbelltown. If you go back through the years, you'll find that.
I was just going to say, well, thanks for letting us do our money. That's all right.
I could have told you that.
Anyway.
In the meantime, Toure has made his way back onto the pitch and he's looking fit.
And the Panthers trailing 1-0 to Adelaide City. Those scores thanks to West Beach Pizza Bar. Of course, here still 0-0. 16 gone. It's Para Hills now with the ball on the far side into attack. Chance there for Jacomte. It's been turned over. Stevens. Sorry, Samara. Yep. Stevens now has it on the far side. And that's Karachia doing the defending there for the Croydon Kings, has conceded the throw-in. So Para Hills deep in their attacking half, still 0-0.
As Para Hills now still in possession. It's Bailey out there, is it? Trying to get the ball, but here comes Klimek. Sends a long ball forward. That looks offside to me, and it is.
By a good metre.
I thought the assistant here just took a little while longer. I was expecting him to put it up straight away, but offside there to Croydon. Para Hills to relieve the pressure on the far side.
Stevens with the do.
Goes in board, finds a Bailey. Bailey now tries to send it forward, looking out there for Mullen. Isaac Mullen, he loses possession. Here's Croydon try to go forward now. Through Interior, he loses possession. It's been scrappy so far. Para Hills finding it hard to clear their defensive area. They go out wide. Piantadosi sends it forward. Tyler Bailey clears the ball. Here's an opportunity now for Para Hills to go forward. In the meantime, they win themselves a free kick.
Mullen dumped.
And another opportunity for Para Hills to put some more pressure on the Croydon defence.
Well, as you said, Tony, the first 15 minutes probably belonged to Croydon, but now Para Hills having a good spell. Stevens, what can he do with this? Should put it to the tip of the penalty spot.
He's been hitting them well.
It's a low one, not a good one.
That one.
Yep. And Croydon should come away with the ball. That was D'Alfonso. It's been turned over. Bailey. Chance, Sanaski. Playing it dangerously. Toure seems to be moving freely enough, but couldn't keep that in. So throw into Para Hills. Matkioro from his defensive half. Up the line there, asking a bit of Butler, but did well to keep it in, but it's turned it over. Para Hills should regain possession. They do through Matkioro. Nice little tap there by Mullen, but couldn't find his target in the end. Turns it over. It'll be a throw into the Croydon Kings. On the halfway line, it's still 0-0 after 18 and a half minutes.
The Kings now in possession of B2. Sends it across to Brazzali. Goes even further to... trying to pick up who that player is there. Panagaris it was. Panagaris fighting for the ball, but he loses possession. Here comes Para Hills now on the far side. Jacomte trying to find Bailey, couldn't do so. They've still got possession. Mullen there sends it out wide, finds Bailey. Bailey sends it forward. Here's an opportunity. Whoa. Comes off the head of Panagaris.
Had to get something on that.
And it will be a corner.
Watcher was looking behind him. Had he not got a touch on that? There's that number 10 there for Para Hills. Kuala would have been all over that and maybe ball in the back of the net. So very timely intercept.
Para Hills are looking a little bit more settled in the last 5 minutes or so, which their coach would be happy about. And they've won themselves another corner. It will be Stevens to take it.
It's better.
Good one. Looking out there for Matkioro. Won't find him. Here's an opportunity now for Bailey. Bailey sends back post. Looking out there for Kolalancha. Won't find him. Stevens now has got an opportunity to get it back in. Will he do so? Not a bad ball there.
Good ball.
Looking up there for his striker in Butler. Couldn't find him. It'll be Toure now for Croydon to try and clear that ball. Good work there by Para Hills in Tyler Bailey. Marshals that ball out. It'll be a throw in here to Para Hills.
Butler with a good chance for Para Hills. Really are coming into this game now. 20 minutes gone. They have the throw in on the halfway line. Kolalanchia. They try to move the ball forward. Toure for Croydon. Klimek falls over it. Captain Klimek redeems himself. and wins the throw-in. Well done. Plenty of experience there. Looks like he may have hurt himself. Croydon will have the throw-in on the halfway line. Round 12 action of the NPL South Australia, proudly brought to you by Kanga Coachlines, official transport partner of the FFSA. Sanansky now plays it down the line. Aerial ping pong. Sanansky finally down to Torre. Carachir, through ball in Tieti, could be offside, but gee, a good intercept there by Piantadosi. Giving it up though, and Thierry looking for the free kick, nothing coming. And Parrill's come away with it, Bailey there. But he's turned it over cheaply to Sanansky. He goes short. Skeffington goes wide, but it's been turned over.
Here's Para Hills now. There's an opportunity to go forward.
Well done, Jacomte.
Jacomte.
1 against 3.
Still got the ball. Looking for some help now. Needs to get it back. Finds Stevens.
Foul?
As he gets brought down. Probably should have been a foul. Did he give it a foul?
No,
it's given a throw in there by the looks. And be a throw in here to Para Hills on the far side. Stevens to take it. Goes short. Jacomte. He's got 2 players around him.
That's a
this
foul.
time they bring him down. It will be a foul. And again, Para Hills on the far side have a free kick. They've had a few in that position, haven't they?
They sure have.
How's our tally here, Spells?
Yeah, 5 free kicks they've had. Oh, sorry, committed 5 fouls, Croydon. And as Tony said, probably this is the 2nd or 3rd from nearly the exact same spot, and they've been very dangerous.
Thanks to Chemist King Hectorville. Stevens now on the far side. Plenty of white shirts in the box. Can't beat the first defender. And Croydon don't come away with it. Para Hills will come back at him. Now through Bailey on the halfway line. Chips the ball forward. Torre has the ball now for Croydon. He's released Intieri. That was offside. This linesman's way behind the play. Intieri now one-on-one with the keeper. Terrible finish. Yes, son, you hang your head in shame.
I thought that was onside, boys. Number 2 there.
No way. That was offside.
I agree with Paul. Yeah. Not very often we do agree, Paul.
Oh, isn't it? I thought we did actually, Tony.
But it's definitely offside for mine. But terrible finish again there.
Gee, one-on-one with the keeper.
Well, at least.
There we go. He's skied it well over the bar. Poetic justice. So Para Hills now, through their keeper and Ramsey, gets it up over the halfway line. Tree's pretty limp here, so I don't think there's a breeze to talk of. Ryan, is there out there?
Little one, once or twice. I've watched the flags on some corners.
I was just about to say that. A little one that just comes once or twice, but the sun is playing a big part. He's quite strong down here.
So Croydon now into attack. Skeffington, good turn.
Oh, well done.
Stevens in the way. D'Alfonso on the far side. Goes one way, then the other. Overran the ball. Piantadosi comes away with it. Plays it. Oh, Kolanchig, almost a foul, but play on, says the referee. Bailey now goes to switch the play. Good runner, Butler. Butler now, left-hand attacking side for Para Hills, comes inboard. Gee.
Good tackle there.
I just like the afters from Butler getting it to Carachir's hair. Toure now on the break.
Toure now for Croydon, who've looked dangerous. Well done by Toure. Takes in 3 players. Can he get a shot on? No, he can't. Probably did a little bit too much. It will be cleared here by Para Hills. That was Kololancha. Gets it out wide. That's Somaro. Still in possession. Goes inboard. Finds his player there in Mullen. Mullen gets it forward here. Can the player get to this? He does. Here's an opportunity for Butler. Butler now with some space in front of him, wants somebody running in, eventually does get someone running in, but nobody can get a touch of that. That could have been dangerous.
Good idea though, the thought was good. Samaro probably just a little bit slow to take off on that occasion. As Croydon now through Panagaris, goes back to his keeper. In fact, it was Brazzali. Back to Munro, so still 0-0 here, round 12 action. Para Hills hosting the Croydon Kings. 25 minutes almost gone this first half. That's an interesting challenge, but referee says no problem. Just be a throw-in. Going the way of the Para Hills Knights. Stevens.
Good referee.
Goes backwards. Piantadosi inboard. Bailey backwards. Interesting ball by Marchioro, but Stevens does well to control and actually disperse. The runner out there is Mullen, but couldn't get there. Croydon win out in numbers, and it's Klimek. Klimek holds it up, goes backwards. Brazzali sizes up the options. Thinks to go to the keeper. Munro in no hurry, goes back to Brazzali. So Croydon deep in defence. Up the line now, but he turns it over. Mullen passes it. Oh, that's a foul, surely, and a card too coming.
Yeah, he was just late. You could see it happening from a long way off.
The captain, Klimek?
Klimek, yeah.
Well, he kind of had to take him down there.
Sort of did.
Very lucky too, because he was just outside the box.
But if he'd had gone past him, it would have been dangerous.
Watched it on the replay, yep.
Probably a professional foul there by Klimek.
Well done to Samaro. Might have been a bit heavy on that touch. And maybe, oh, well, hindsight's a beautiful thing, so we won't even talk about the maybes.
Para Hills with another free kick, a little bit closer this time.
Well, that'll help him because he dropped the last one short.
Let's
so
see what he can do
this
here.
Might be right on his range.
Again, it's Stevens. P.S. Stevens waiting for the referee's whistle. Eventually comes. Stevens now, what can he do? He goes short. Here's an opportunity for a shot. That was Mullen. Couldn't get past the defence of Croydon, and Croydon break quickly now. Not a good touch there by D'Alfonso, I think that was. And
poor touch.
Very poor.
That should have been a good counter-attack there to Croydon, and never eventuated. There was players streaming forward. In the end, it will be a throw-in near to Para Hills. They go forward. Mullen off the back of the head.
Nice body check. So another foul. How many is that?
7.
Seven. Lucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Not many the other way, is there?
No, just one.
Shows you the pressure that Para Hills are applying. I'm just a bit concerned about the quality in the final third for Croydon and Thierry and D'Alfonso on the far side. It's just that
D'Alfonso's got a lot of experience. I don't know much about Thierry, Paul. I'm not sure if you do, but
I think he's an Italian import.
He's had a few opportunities to show what he's made of, and so far he has.
Well,
keep creating them.
Comment.
You got to get one in the back of the net zone.
So Stevens,
well, you think about that.
Don't worry, I don't have to think about that, Tony. I know your Sicilian attitude. So it's Bailey now, the captain for Para Hills. Butler, good control, comes in on his right foot. Butler gets the chip into the box. It's a chance now for Para Hills. They lay it off. Kolalancia goes wide to Stevens. Stevens gets the cross into the box. It's headed away in the end by Brazzali for another corner kick to Para Hills, who have just asserted themselves. This last 13 minutes has all been theirs. The first 15 Croydon's. So 28 gone and Para Hills holding sway, but still nothing to show on the scoreboard. 0-0.
Tell you what, the big back three for Croydon. You know, every week they do it. Panagaris, Brazzali, and Abichu.
So from a corner kick, fairly deep, a free header by Matkioro, off target, but Stevens will get another chance. The clearance wasn't good, gets it into the box. Toure should do the tidying up for Croydon and get him out of that danger zone. Plays it up the line, but to no yellow shirts up there. So it'll come back at him. So Bailey now on the halfway line.
Got him on the run a little bit, Para Hills.
Stevens on the far side, chips the ball forward in hope more than anything. Bit of a nudge there by D'Alfonso. And the referee sees it that way.
Yeah, I think that the problem that I can see out there, Paul, is Thierry there and also D'Alfonso and even Caraccia are playing a little bit too far away from each other, Paul. There's too much of a gap and they just seem to find themselves on their own rather than having some support. Para Hills want to take it quickly. And allowed to. The referee brings it back. It'll be Stevens. He'll have a sore foot after this game. He's taken so many free kicks. He's got another one here.
And after watching the A-League finals, you know that beauty of a man in these sorts of set shots and set pieces. It's just crucial.
It is, isn't it? As Stephen gets it forward, there was an opportunity. Was that Mullen now trying to pick it up?
Yeah.
Kolalancia.
Was it Kolalancia that should have got his head to it? Yes, it was Kolalancia. Gee, what an opportunity there. As we watch it, we might be able to see that on the replay.
Corner.
Short corner here. Kolalancia now, can he get it inboard? He goes short, finds Mullen. Mullen gets it to the far post. Off the head there of a Croydon player. That was John Panagaris there. Still, Para Hills in possession. Can they get a shot on? Klimek now comes away with the ball, gets brought down. It'll be a free kick here to Croydon to relieve the pressure.
What I don't understand with that short corner there, it's not like the 85th minute where they have to rush to take the corner. Take it easy, take it easy. You got the corner. It's still only the 29th minute mark of the first half.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to catch the defence out of position there. That's the idea of it.
Stevens' foot is a little bit sore.
So Munro now for the Croydon. Oh, that's not a good free kick. Acknowledges to his teammates. Doing the tidying up, Abatu. Back to his keeper under pressure. Applying that pressure was Jacomte. Now that's bet over the halfway line. Marchioro. Only as far as Karachir on the halfway line for the Croydon Kings. Sanaski has the ball. Toure, beautiful turn. This lad's got some skill. Plays it inboard to Intieri. 1-2 with Toure. Couldn't control it. Gave him the mockers. Ball wide now. Chance for Samaro for Para Hills. On the break. Takes it to the far side. In the shade. A lot of yellow shirts around him. Needs support. Samaro does very well. He's beaten 3 just quietly. Klimek still couldn't take him down. There's a nudge in the back to Mullen, and the referee will just go with a throw-in on this occasion.
I can tell you Brazzali's not happy about something out there. I'm not sure if you can pick it up, Ryan, but...
yeah, he's not happy with his striker.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be either, to be honest.
Well, you've made that clear.
As Para Hills come away with the ball. Marchioro now gets it out wide. Carter Bailey in possession. Going forward now. Here's Mullen on the turn. Good turn there by Mullen.
Colalanchia was.
That was Colalanchia, sorry. Here's an opportunity now for Para Hills. Can they get the ball across? They do.
But
not sure if that was a cross or a shot.
No, that was definitely meant to be a cross.
I think so too.
You saw the hand go up straight away.
It's ended up a shot and a save because Munro still had to deal with it.
A question, boys, I pose while Munro has the ball. Do you put Samaro down the centre? Do you feel like him being at the right wing at the moment?
Yeah, a bit
change
wasted.
it up. Yeah, change it up and just swap him with Kalanchi. Just they've got a bit of possession. Just try and really put that pressure
up a bit.
Just a lot of long balls are coming through. He's got a lot of pace just to put the pressure down Abatu and Brazzali's neck. You know what I mean? Just to really pierce that defence.
Bailey now tries to pierce the Croydon defence, but too heavy, and Brazzali tidies up back to his keeper Munro. The comp there and Samaro talking to each other to get a bit closer maybe. Bailey with his head on it. Leaves it for Butler.
It's not a great ball.
Tyler Bailey, the captain, clears and gives up possession.
I just feel Panagaris is a very good defender. We see him a lot and he always plays a good game. Always plays a very good, consistent game. I'd just like to see, and I think hasn't got done Samaro, but I think he's just got a little bit of Samaro. I'd just like Samaro to come in and really, because Brazzali, once he's got a little bit of pressure and a bit of pace about him, he starts getting a little bit lost.
Yep. As Brazzali now, the man you've been talking about, gets it out wide. Skeffington now with the ball, beats one player. He should send it through. He finally does. Here's an opportunity for Para Hills, Croydon, I should say. And that time, that wasn't. That was D'Alfonso.
I reckon
that time.
they left it for each other. Who got the final touch? Let's have a look.
Now, goalkeeper had the final touch, boys. It's gone for a corner.
D'Alfonso with the shot though.
And they've had some great opportunity, have Croydon.
Good camera work, boys. Definitely D'Alfonso with that last touch. I just thought that they almost got in each other's way. So Croydon, that final third.
They've only scored 16 goals this season, boys, and they're losing. They haven't got Radici or Visconti out there today, so you can see why they've only scored 16 goals. I think they rely on too many players. Too many of the same player, sorry.
Have to go the unders spells. D'Alfonso with a corner kick, right foot out, swing it. Gets some good height on it. Brazzali got his head on it in the wrong direction. Karachia plays it back to his captain in Klimek, who goes back wide to D'Alfonso. Can he keep it in? And doesn't. That'll be a goal kick to the Para Hills Knights.
For a biggish type goalkeeper, the goalkeeper gets down.
Ryan, look at Ryan on screen.
How you going, boys? How you going? Now, for the goalkeeper, boys, he gets down quite quickly for a biggish type keeper.
So now Para Hills from their defensive zone get the ball up over the halfway line. Mullen goes wide. She almost kicked the ground. In Thierry, it was a turnover. Here come Croydon. Skeffington heavy with a touch. It still gets through to Intieri. It's been disappointing, so he cuts it back. Good header away by Marchioro. Butler now skies it. Bit of a hospital ball. Doing well. Samaldo. 2 yellow shirts to beat. Gets dumped again. And another free kick conceded by the Croydon Kings. Number
9. Love potion number 9.
We've played 36 minutes in this first half. The score is still 0-0. Croydon have had a few opportunities to change that scoreline. They haven't been able to do so through some probably bad finishing, but great goalkeeping also by Timothy Ramsey, as Stevens now gets a long ball forward. It should be going out there.
What was he doing?
What was he doing? He should have marshalled
Unless
that
he got
out
a
there.
touch on it.
I think he thought momentum was going to bring it out, but there was a bit of backspin on that, and it caught him out.
You're probably right there, Paul. Stevens gets another opportunity from a corner this time.
Just quickly around the grounds, thanks to the West Beach Pizza Bar. Still Campbelltown 2-0 over the Metro Stars, and Panthers still losing to Adelaide City 1-0.
Stevens now gets the ball into the middle. Comes off the head of a Para Hills player.
Sanaski's hurt himself big time.
Gee, has he broken something
He's
there?
done
big time.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's in.
No,
It's either his knee or his
Ankle,
leg.
ankle. I reckon
leg.
he's twisted. Look, it
No,
almost
it's more than a twist.
looks
That's
like a
more than
break.
a twist, yes. I just hope for
Just watch
Alex.
this on the replay.
His leg got stuck underneath him. Oh, my
yeah,
word.
no, that's horrible.
Oh,
Horrible.
my word.
I reckon that's broken for sure, and he's
Oh.
Better get that.
get the ambo.
Oh, my word. That's
terrible. Have a look. It just looks out of place too.
That's a bone.
What is it, boys, on the replay?
Well,
It
it's
looks
a
like he may have
broken leg.
broken something there, and I can tell you,
From
Paul,
the shin,
I've
maybe?
done that break on the shin, and
Yeah, have a
it's
look
not
at the
pleasant.
positioning of that leg. That's just twisted, and that looks horrible.
It got stuck underneath him
Yeah.
as he went to turn.
He's in pain. There's no doubt about that.
So
Get that stretcher
I just
out.
hope that it's not what we're thinking, Paul. I feel so much for any player that that has that type of
Just
accident.
an awkward fall.
It just got stuck underneath him. If we watch quickly here, there it is there. There it is there. Got stuck underneath him.
Oh, he's gone backwards.
And, wow, gee.
I think they need
Something that's a stretcher. Something that we don't need to see and we don't want to see.
definitely a stretcher job here. I don't know what they're waiting for. The pain is obvious. The trainer out there obviously should know and be calling something pretty quickly.
Oh, jeez.
Have they got a stretcher
Yeah,
here? Is
here
that the
they
problem?
come.
Here we
Here
go.
they come. They need a couple of green whistles too.
I'd say that this would be an ambulance job. He'll be going to hospital to check that out.
And this game's going to get held up now.
He's in a lot of pain.
He is in a lot of
some
pain.
distress, poor old Alex.
And he was playing so well too.
Yep.
But as I said, we don't want to see those type of injuries at any time. But you could just see that his foot got stuck underneath as he turned.
So the ground steward's out there to get Alex Sanaski on the stretcher. Ryan, you might be able to get an update on the boundary line as they come off from the trainer. But that looked like a break to me.
Yes, let's not speculate. Let's just,
let's just
let
hope that it's not as bad as we think it is.
It
And
is.
all our thoughts go to Alex Sanaski there.
Yeah, just getting caught under him, all right. Did well to apply the challenge, and
Yeah, I just felt every bit of that.
so the
Who's
players
coming on for him, boys?
well, find out shortly as Braz is doing some tactical stuff over there.
Number 16, boys, is doing his warm-ups
Martinello.
on the far side.
Just to be pedantic, boys, remember at a drinks break how the referee, I don't know if you were there, Tony, but Spells, the referee, I think, yelled out to the coaches, no coaching. Remember when there was a drinks break early in the season and the referee yells out, no coaching, coaches?
Went over and made a real point of it.
Yeah.
But that was perhaps on a like on a heat break.
I think that was Alberton. It was at...
I didn't want to mention his name, Ryan, you bugger.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Alberton. Just threw you under the bus. But it was Campbelltown. And then he asked it was at Campbelltown Bacala, and he told Bacala no coaching, but he goes, can I have a drink, please? That's right. How can I forget?
So Alex Sanaski being stretchered off, as you can see on screen. Still, I'd say, in a bit of pain.
It was very hot that day, I'm not going to lie. I was sweating up a storm.
I just found it interesting, though, no coaching. I mean, the coaches coach from the sideline continually.
But perhaps it might just in the extra heat break, drinks break, you're not allowed to coach.
Well, what
just
about there?
Purely to
what
grab.
About
well, this is a long injury break. I suppose there's no
break is a break.
difference. Yes.
So Alex Sanaski just in front of us now. Let's see if we can see the positioning of that leg.
Yeah, they're holding it up, so it's a break by the looks of things, or a fracture.
Just looking at the other two games while we've got this little bit of a break, Paul.
Yeah, still 2-0.
2-0 Campbelltown. Have we got the goal scorers there at all or not?
Oh, now you're asking a bit much, Tony.
It's all right. As this game's just about to get on the way, so we'll concentrate back on the game. As we've said,
Mullen and Kirk, there you go.
Coming on for Alex Sanaski, there was Adam Martinello. As Para Hills win themselves a throw-in. A little bit of a lull has come over this ground now. It's an awful feeling when you see somebody take an injury like that as Para Hills get ready to take the throw-in.
Croydon with some defending and a free kick. Going the way of the Croydon Kings to just ease a little bit of pressure. You're right, it's just a bit sombre at the moment. Just both teams a little bit concerned. Both sets of players, I should say. Thank you. Thank you. So now it'll be Munro. There'll be a bit of injury time in this half, no doubt, as Intieri gets his head on it. Skeffington couldn't. Para Hills come away with the ball. Bit of a heavy touch, but they did well. Butler trying to find there, and he's felled Jacomp there. Legal, says the referee. Brazzali goes back to his keeper. So Munro will start the build again for the Croydon Kings. It's 0-0 here at the Paddocks.
Tremendous test for them too at the moment.
It will be.
It really will.
They've certainly lost some experience there in losing Sanaski after having two of their probably more experienced players out in Rocky Visconti and also who's the other player they've got out? Radici. Here's an opportunity now for Para Hills to go forward. Can they get a shot in? It's Butler!
Oh, yes!
What a shot from Butler! Adam Butler! That is a brilliant shot. I'm not sure that Munro might have lost that in the sun.
Boys, in the celebration, Brazzali's just gone off to the linesman there. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be asked to leave.
Well, I tell you what, there's no sun on that side. The sun's on the opposite side, Tony.
So it couldn't have
a look at that. Munro,
well, that is a brilliant
poor
shot.
effort by the keeper, I've got to say. Well, Nicholas Munro won't be happy with the replay.
We're directly behind that, and I'm not giving an excuse, but two guys got right in the line of it, as they should, and I think he got a late look at it, and just a little late movement, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was an incredible
beautiful
shot. But as you said, Paul, from the distance that was, the goalkeeper probably should have saved that.
I think you're being kind, Spells. Yeah. That was pretty poor.
It was a great shot, though, Paul.
Great shot, but the keeper was there.
And
I would like to know what Mark Brazzali was saying to the linesman.
He's still on the pitch. He didn't get sent
off.
No,
he's still on the pitch. He's just been asked
offside.
It's a foul to Para Hills just to settle things down.
As we go, Paul, you know, the opportunities that Croydon have had in that first half of this game.
Well, they only had the first 15 minutes, Tony, really. It's been Para Hills.
They had another opportunity there through D'Alfonso, who should have scored, Paul.
Interior and D'Alfonso. I said they're just lacking a bit of quality, I think, in that final third, to be polite.
Now, this is just a great challenge. I mean, inside I'm excited because Croydon have got some big fish to fry, or so they would think this year, and all of a sudden it's game on, and let's see what you're made of.
Well, it would have given a spark to Para Hills in that show within about a couple of minutes. As Skeffington, now the captain for Croydon, tries to catch the keeper off his line. This will be the goal of the year if it goes in.
No,
just wide of the upright.
That's great thinking there.
Very good vision.
Clinic.
That's a shot on goal.
Oh, I agree. That would have been the goal of the year. That is incredible thinking there by Klimek.
Just watch this on the replay. Saw keeper off the line and...
well, he was gone, wasn't he?
Totally gone. If that was on target, that was a goal. And Klimek, great vision, but still his team trail 1-0.
Quick injury update with Sanowski, boys. They're not sure if it's broken or maybe a ligament.
I hope it's a ligament, yeah. So, Ramsey now. Not a great goal kick. Toure chips at D'Alfonso, the runner on the far side. A back header, courageous there by Piantadossi, but effective. So we are now into injury time, which there'll be quite a few minutes of that. Para Hills lead 1-0. Anyone else tip them except me, fellas? Anyone in the...
No, I've gone for Croydon.
I tip Para Hills, boys.
I'm sure you tipped Croydon. Huh?
Me and you, Paulie.
Huh? I tipped a draw, which could still be on.
Gee, not even half time. Some pop-up Kings here on at the moment.
Pop-up Kings, I like that.
I'm still in it.
Have you got a bottle of wine for Veg and Paul?
And Thierry now.
Here's a
chance for Karacha. Can he get a shot on? Toure! Should have hit it there, didn't. And they've won themselves a corner. He should have hit that, Paul. He had the opportunity.
Yeah, but he took two defenders out of it, playing the dummy as well.
No, he did well. That would have been blocked there by the defender.
Yeah. Well, you never know where that ball can go. I'd rather have a shot on than no shot at all, which is what he got in the end. It'll be D'Alfonso now to take this corner for Croydon. We go into added time now. We've had a minute of it.
You could have gloated when it was 0-0, Tony.
I could
you had
have.
your moment.
No, I said a score draw.
Oh.
As D'Alfonso takes the corner,
Gee.
it bypasses everyone. Can somebody get a shot on? Brazzali now goes all the way back, goes to the player that's just come on as Martinello. Gets it to Klimek. Klimek now. Switches play. Looking out there for Skeffington. Won't find him. It'll be cleared there by Stevens. We'll throw in here to Para Hills on the far side.
Metro Stars have got one back against Campbelltown, so it's Campbelltown 2, Metro Stars 1. Still Adelaide City 1-0 over the Panthers, and that's thanks to the West Beach Pizza Bar.
As in the middle, Croydon now trying to get it forward.
I like your pronunciation.
A B2?
A B2.
Oh, sure, one of us is right, Paul.
Maybe none of us are right.
None of us is. Brazzali now gets a long ball forward, looking up there for D'Alfonso.
Got his head on it.
Got his head. He's not a tall player. Probably not the type of player that's going to win a game from his head there. As Tim Ramsey, who's been sensational this afternoon, gets a long ball forward, comes off of the head of Brazzali, and it goes out. Be a throw in here to Para Hills.
He is confident, dropping the big droppies out.
He is, isn't he? Another throw in there. Skeffington, come off the head of Skeffington. It'll be Stevens is going to have sore arms and a sore foot.
So we're 2.5 minutes into extra time. Of course, the injury to Sanaski will bring us to about 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 minutes.
Little blood rule or something, perhaps.
Got to be something.
Mullen getting some tension there on the far side. Stevens threw it down the line. Was looking for Samaro. Didn't find him. Ground bathed in beautiful sunshine today. After the last couple of days, the gods are on our side.
Yeah.
So Stevens finds Samaro near the attacking corner flag.
Is it offside or to go out?
Can you be offside for a
no,
free kick?
Can't.
No, throw in, boys.
It's a throw in, so you can't be offside.
Ran out of line. Brazzali now from deep in defence for Croydon. Gets it up to the halfway line. Piantadesi got his head on it to Butler. Butler now in the middle of the park. Goes wide to Stevens. Stevens up the line. Next in line was Samaro, and he's taking it to the corner flag, trying to win a corner, but doesn't. Concedes.
Same result.
Yeah, throw in to the Croydon Kings.
As Karacha now in possession. He's been okay this afternoon. Gets it all the way back to Panagaris. Not sure what that was, if it was a shot or a pass.
We'll say a clearance.
We'll say a clearance there as...
Martichiota with a good clearance.
He's a typical centre-back. That was a clearance.
A B2 gets it to Klimek. Gets it out even further. Panagaris on that side. Goes inboard to his captain. Gets a long ball forward. Looking out there for Skeffington. Can he get the ball in? There is players in the box. Here's an opportunity now for Antiri. He
Good
can't get a
challenge.
shot in.
Well done, Martichiota.
And Para Hills will clear this ball. They're looking up there for Jacomte. Couldn't find him. Here's Brazzali. Gets it to Martinello. To Toure. Been a little bit quiet in this second half of the first half, I should say.
I follow you.
You follow me? Second part of the first half. That's what I meant to say. Is Klimek now. Here's an opportunity. Can they get a shot on before this whistle blows? Skeffington. Klimek. Karacha.
Stevens to the rescue for Para Hills.
He's picked up a free kick, though, the referee. I was struggling to see where.
We've got
Free
a change coming.
Free kick?
No, is that what's happened there?
No, just player came back on.
Half time. Only 5 minutes, boys, of extra time of that first half. So referee Galanti calls half time here at the Paddocks in a very entertaining first half, which the first 15 minutes you could say belonged to the Croydon Kings, but the rest of that half probably belonged to Para Hills, with a couple of chances in the middle of that to the Croydon Kings, but as I said, probably lacking a little bit of quality in that final third.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I mean, as we said, Croydon Kings had a couple of very, very good chances. They fell to Intiri.
Boys, just got Luke here. Luke, you started off a bit slow in that first half, but you, after the first 15 minutes, you guys picked it up and deservingly got the 1-0 lead and coming into half time.
Yeah, it's good to get off to the first half with a goal and go into the break with 1 up. Takes the pressure off a little bit, but we know that Croydon are a good team, having beaten us in the cup. We've got a game to repay them with, so we'll be ready for the second half.
What do you reckon Coach Darryl Avery's going to say to you boys for this next half?
Look, we had a little break in the first half, and he just said to us, just keep pushing, drop behind the ball. He just said keep the pressure up and keep getting in behind, because that's where we're getting success. So coming out in the second half, we'll just be against their back four and hopefully get more success there and more goals.
Well, good luck for the second half. Important 3 points coming up. Well done, bud.
Well done, Ryan Marveggio there with Luke Kuala-Lumpur at half time. We will have a chat. In fact, Cassandra will have a chat with the president of the Para Hills Knights very shortly, but quickly some stats, spells of that first half, thanks to Chemist King Hectorville.
That's right. They don't entirely tell the story, because it looks as if Croydon Kings are dominating a little bit on the stats. 5 shots on goal, been caught offside a couple of times, had 4 corners, keepers had to make a couple of saves, and they've committed 10 fouls. We'll drop down to Cassandra.
Thank you, and welcome, Dale. Thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. And bit of a tough season for you so far, but you're getting up today. So what are your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, look, at the season, we've been competitive every game. South Adelaide, I think we were led into a false sense of belief that they were a pushover, and of course they just smashed us off the park. Every other game we've been competitive. Adelaide City, again, one silly mistake. I think we were the better side personally. It's just the way the game goes, just trouble finishing. It's, again, there's not many good strikers out there, and we certainly don't have one, but putting the ball in the back of the net seems to be our weak link.
Doesn't help that you did lose a few players like the Mullen boys, but as for South Australia's talent goes, do you think some of your players are capable of getting there one day and reaching like the A-League level?
Yeah, look, we have got a very young squad, but again, the coach and the club have belief in these players. You don't just pick a player just to make up a number. Every player that's in the squad you believe is a future champion, and definitely what we want to do is bring up some club players and let our players know that they've got somewhere to go to. They will make first team. We won't just buy a first team. And the boys that we've got, yeah, it's about experience, but definitely give them a couple of years maybe and we'll definitely be a super side.
Sounds great. And as for upgrading the ground, there's a bit of a slow start there, but you'd hope one day that you can get the ground more upgraded. Yeah, look, there's talks with the Salisbury Council. I live in Teatree Gully, and they're a good council too. But yeah, Salisbury Council, there's a $25 million upgrade for the whole Paddocks area, and the interim talks have shown that it might go over that, and they're happy to go over that. It includes all of the other sporting clubs, the footy club, the bowling club, possibly 4 years before it eventuates. So it's kind of long term, and we focus on now and getting the venue as good as it can be for the interim. But yeah, look, big things to come in the future. So yeah, with our players getting some experience and the club rooms getting renovated, you know, we could be the new Cooper Stadium of the North. And why not?
There
great.
You go.
Thanks, Dale. Thanks for joining us, and great to hear from you. Thank you.
See ya.
Great stuff, Cassandra. We'll just take a short break. We'll run a quick RAA ad and show you some highlights from the first half. See you back soon.
Thanks for coming out to replace my battery.
No worries. It's all part of our service. We come to you anywhere, anytime, and installation is no extra.
No way.
Way?
You get more. Call us or go to raa.com.au. Okay, come on. What's this? Apparently it was an epic jump. Smashed right through the laundry window. What? But your RIA home insurance covers accidental glass breakage.
Oh, yeah, right.
We do more. Get a quote today.
Why can RAA provide better service to South Australians?
Well,
Morning, Deb.
morning, Sam. If there's a storm, we already know there's a storm.
Hey, Deb.
Hi, Ben. Or if you're broken down, we know exactly where the street is.
Netball tonight, Deb?
Go Tigers. We understand things that affect locals.
Morning, Deb.
Morning, morning, ladies. And we can make difficult situations easier because...
You're locals too?
Yes, that's why we can do more for South Australians.
Welcome back to the paddocks for the second half. This NPL South Australia round 12 action thanks to Kanga Coachlines. And don't forget, Kanga will transport clubs up to Loxton for the FFSA regional round when Adelaide United Youth take on the Adelaide Comets. That's in 2 weeks' time. And of course, at the end of the game, we'll be making the Claymore Wines Man of the Match Award. And as announced by the FFSA last week, Claymore Wines will donate $1 from every bottle of Claymore Wines purchased at participating outlets to a women's football fund. Visit the FFSA website for more information. So a couple of good initiatives there, yeah.
Really
absolutely.
good. And they're a lovely drop, Claymore Wine. So
you have tried it?
I have. Well, not that one in particular, but I work with a girl who's an ex-wine rep, and Claymore Wines.
Oh, a lot of oohing and ahhing.
A lot of oohing and ahhing.
We'll see what happens in the second half. Parahills Knights lead Croydon Kings 1-0. And just quickly around the grounds, it's still Campbelltown 2-1 over Metro Stars, and South Adelaide Panthers still losing 1-0 to Adelaide City. Bit of a better turnaround from a 10-0 result earlier in the season.
Certainly is, Paul. So it'll be Parahills to get the second half underway. Jacomte over the ball. Referee blows his whistle. It's Parahills now in possession. They go long. Looking out there for Butler. Won't be able to find him. Cleared there
by Martinello.
Martinello, as the sun gets in our eyes here. A B2. Gets it to Brazzali, to Panagaris, goes inboard, finds Karacha. Good work there by Karacha. Slips one over, trying to find Skeffington. He won't get to that one. It should be cleared here by Para Hills. It is.
Stevens, they were just talking, Stevens and Marchioro, yours, mine, almost let him sneak in, Skeffington, if they hesitated anymore. So from the throw-in, it's Brazzali now, the Croydon Kings on the halfway line. Getting pushed back. Brazzali up the line. Finds Panagaris. Evades 1-2. Oh, that's handball, I thought, handball. But play on, says the referee.
Well get Panagaris.
Interesting call. Skeffington now up the line for the Croydon Kings. He's been nudged off the ball there by Samaro.
He's done a hammy, I think.
Oh, gee, they certainly don't need another injury, do they, mate?
Stevens to tidy up. Stevens with a long searching ball forward in hope more than anything. Martinello gets it for the Croydon Kings. He goes back to his goalkeeper. So Nicholas Munro now finds Brazzali. Brazzali in front of our commentary position finds Panagaris. Panagaris up the line, turns it over to Stevens. Stevens finds in turn Kolalancia. Kolalancia in the middle of the park for Para Hills. Klimek applied the pressure. Gee whiz, a bit of a hospital ball. Good little touch. That was by Mullen, who's changed his number. Here's a chance for Para Hills into the box. Free header! Just over the head of Samaldo. Chance gone begging for Para Hills to possibly make it 2-0. Stevens will come again for Para Hills. Kolalancia. Short shot from distance by Mullen, wearing the number 5 this half. And Croydon come away with it.
Croydon now with Toure over the board, tries to beat two players, gets brought down, referee blows his whistle, and it will be a free kick here.
Now, is he holding his shoulder again?
Gee, that's possibly Toure down, just trying to pick that up on the replay.
Yeah, and I false alarmed you about Skeffington, but right up in his glute, he keeps sort of just
stretching
and touching as if he's got a bit of tightness, but Toure up, yep, he's up.
That's the last thing they need, Croydon. As a B2 goes short to Brazzali. Back to a B2. Trying to find some space.
Sure, it's Abichu, but anyway, that's
is it
okay.
Abichu?
I believe so.
It is Abichu.
Well, okay, I was
so
right the
Paul
first
was
time.
Right. I said one of us was right.
Well, that's what we've been calling him every other week.
Well, doesn't mean it's right.
It doesn't mean that it's
it doesn't
right.
mean it's right, but
you guys are the best. Well, it's out of play. Back to the game.
That definitely was a Para Hills ball there. But just quickly, Mullen has changed his top. Just blood rule that was late in that first half. There was blood on his top. So, yeah, had to put the number 5 top on.
So it's Croydon now from the defensive half. Abichu goes wide. Martinello back to Abitu. Inboard to Klimek. Still in their own half, Croydon though. Panagaris almost up to the halfway line. A bit shy on the chalk here at, well, the white paint here at Para Hills. Carachia now inboard. Skeffington plays it off in Thierry. Poor touch. Back to Carachia. Goes wide. D'Alfonso falls over himself. And the ball's wide. Still with Croydon Kings in attack. Toure, the only piece of class in that final third I can see. He's almost been dispossessed.
Too much there, Paul.
Ran out of support and couldn't beat the odds. Too many white shirts around him.
As Croydon now through, I'll say a beat you, I'm not convinced. Takes a quick throw in now to Klimek. He's been good.
I call Carachia because I know his dad, Tony Carachia, and I've called him Carachia all his life.
Do you think it's Carachia or do you think it's Carachia?
But you guys have been calling him Carachia.
It's Carachia. As the ball goes forward, Panagaris now, can he get his foot to it? He can't. It comes off of a
corner.
A Para Hills player. I reckon it's Carachia.
Yeah. You could look. It could be the Italian pronunciation, but I've always known Tony through Central Station Records as Tony Carachia. Well,
can I just
be the Australian?
Can I just interrupt the boys while you're deciding if it's Carachia or Carachia? Injury update: Alice Sinowski has gone to hospital in an ambulance. It is not just suspect; it definitely is a broken ankle. So good luck to him, as he'll be out for the rest of the season.
Good corner kick, well floated, punched in the end. not convincingly. Klimek thought about it first time, maybe should have. Karachi's almost fell in the box, but Para Hills will come away with it. Far side of the ground. Bailey goes for a bit of a gallop. Runs out of line in the end, but wins the throw-in. So a good punch in the end by Ramsey. And a good corner by the Croydon Kings. They trail 1-0 to the Para Hills Knights. Played 5.5 minutes of the second half.
The man in question has really lifted his work rate. Karachia has come out really
well, he's really
steaming after half-time.
Yeah, him and Klimek really have worked hard in that midfield. It's the last third that they're really having problems as Skeffington now gets it short to Klimek, goes forward. Here's D'Alfonso it was. He loses possession. Para Hills now on the counter. They go forward. They find Kolaluncha. Kolaluncha goes in board. Sormato gets brought down, and it will be a free kick here to Para Hills.
Good refereeing. He was waiting to see if there was any advantage in that. Just watching on the replay there. Thought the ball still might have come to a Para Hills player. Didn't. Karachia was there, and good refereeing in the end.
If I was Mark Brazzali, boys, I'd be taking off my number 9. I'd be putting Skeffington in the centre just to give him a little bit of pace and bringing on winger. I know they've already used a substitution, but a substitution needs to be made. You're either going to lose this game by 2-3-0 or you're going to win this game because they need the points.
Ryan, you're right next to him. You could tell him that's not a bad free kick there. It put the defence and the goalkeeper there and
look at that on the replay.
Pressure.
Kick.
Got us a bit by surprise. No replay, no worries.
Ryan, you might want to give that advice to Brazzali.
I don't know if I'm going to be told 2 words or I'm going to be told thank you.
I think it's more likely to be 2 words.
Yeah, I'm going to be told 2 words regardless, nicely or upsetting me.
2 words could be all right.
Yes,
Yeah,
Stevens
exactly
to take this corner. Not a bad one there. Looking back post, Makioro gets his head to it, but not a good header there. This time it's Skeffington that gets brought down. It'll be a free kick to Croydon.
Yeah, against the Mardle there, just a little bit over-enthusiastic on that challenge from behind. So, I
think we need sunglasses here, Paul.
Hat not working, Tony?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Then I don't have an expensive one like you,
He's using the same hat Rob Pipicelli wears.
Yeah. It's got a hole through the top.
So from the long clearance now, Para Hills with some defending to do. Ball in the middle of the park. Tyler Bailey, the captain, goes backwards. Marchioro. Switch to the far side. It was Carter Bailey. Para Hills. Loose ball. Turning it over. Klimek. Abitu. Back to his keeper. Munro. Munro skies the ball from the clearance. Klimek gets a touch on it. Important one. Carter Bailey forward. Finds Jacomp there, but he's turned it over. Klimek now. Croydon on the break. Intieri's the target. But Piantadosi gets there first. Karachir gets his head on it. D'Alfonso back to Karachir. Good turn. Stevens up there for the pressure. Karachir one way, then the other comes back inboard. D'Alfonso lays it off from Skeffington. Back to D'Alfonso with a shot off target. Probably not the power he would have liked either. And that's no threat on goal. Still 1-0 in favour of Para Hills. Round 12 action of this NPL South Australia. Thanks to Kanga Coachlines, official transporter of the FFSA, for the regional round in a couple of weeks' time. Get the family together, have a bit of a holiday away or a weekend away.
Cracking game too, Paul.
Ramsey now gets a long ball forward now. Jacomte with possession, looking up there for Kolanchia.
Good intercept.
It was a good intercept. There's an opportunity now for Sumaro. Well, can he take a shot? He's trying to go round 3 Croydon players. Won't be able to do so. Back post, looking up there for Kolanchia. Stevens goes in board. Probably should have taken a shot. It will be cleared here by Croydon eventually.
They
are under the pump.
What was he
Panagaris, his feet got a little bit tight under him there, Paul.
I think they're a bit under pressure here, Croydon Kings.
Well, they've been rattled. I mean, one of their most experienced defenders has gone off.
And also, if you've just joined us, no Rocco Visconti, no Paul Radici, so some big names out of this Croydon lineup. Nevertheless, Para Hills from the corner kick, Stevens. It's a low one, couldn't beat Klimek. they'll get another chance through the throw-in. So really Croydon up against it from the get-go today. And Para Hills smell blood. They lead 1-0. 10.5 gone this second half. Out here at the paddocks, bathed in beautiful sunshine. Ball played down the line. Samaldo tries to win maybe the corner. 2 yellow shirts right on him. And in fact, wins the throw-in. So Para Hills Knights to take the throw-in deep in their attacking half. Near the attacking corner flag. Scoreboard end. Comes inboard. Kulalanchia receives, goes backwards. Tyler Bailey, the captain, further backwards. Bit of hesitation, so it's skied in the end by Carter Bailey. Comes down eventually, cleared by Croydon. Carachir still in his defensive half, has a bit to do. Good persistence there by Mullen, wins a free kick.
I'm not sure that was there, do you, Paul?
Home ground advantage, here's a yellow card to Carachir for dissent. Can't do that. So Carachir receives a second yellow card of the afternoon. Thanks to Chemist King Hectorville. There you go, protestations there. And that's a yellow card. Any day of the week.
Stevens now gets ready to take this free kick. I think that's his 100th for this afternoon.
Yeah, that's a good stat.
Stevens now gets a long ball. Looking back post, taken there by Munro.
It was well done. Put into the mixer. Do you think it would have happened there?
Releases Toure. Looking up there for Alfonso.
Gee,
can't
well
find
done,
him.
Carter Bailey.
Gee, he went in hard there.
110% if there's such a thing.
And it is
Free kick.
Free kick.
Just quickly around the grounds, thanks to West Beach Pizza Bar. Adelaide City have gone 2-0 up over South Adelaide. And it's still Campbelltown 2-1 over the Metro Stars. So Adelaide City increasing their lead. Metro Stars narrowing the gap. That was in the first half. We're well into the second here as this game had a fairly lengthy layoff or stop for the Sanaski injury. That's Para Hills with a long searching ball forward into the box. Headed backwards by Martinello, tidied up by Abitu, goes to the safety of the line. And that'll be a throw-in. 1-0 Para Hills.
It'll be Carter Bailey. Sorry, Paul.
No, I was just going to say, dangerous scoreline still.
It definitely is.
I'd want the luxury of a second.
Taking this throw-in. Butler. Good work there by Martinello and also Carachir.
He's got to be careful how he goes in, Carachir. On a yellow.
Patience is not his strong point. And it will be a corner to Para Hills. They're pushing, definitely pushing for the second goal.
Oh.
And
it's a wounded Croydon, really, isn't it?
It is Tony? A wounded Croydon, and probably with their heads down, and they know that they should be in front in this game. They've had their opportunities, and if you don't take them, usually comes back to bite you.
A wounded Croydon, but I agree with Tony. You got to take your opportunities early on, and they didn't, and it's kept Para Hills in the game.
That's right. As Stevens now goes back post. Who's here? Macioro.
He's had a few headers, hasn't he?
Can't quite get his head to it properly. Comes off of
Para Hills.
Para Hills, and it will be a goal kick here. Munro.
Speaking about wounded Croydon, a good team or a good club has good depth, and Croydon has been showed up into their depth with 2 key players being out.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
It's a poor clearance. Ball comes back straight at him. So Munro lucky to get a second chance. Let's see what his disposal is like this time. Comes out of his 18-yard area. Good clearance over the halfway line. Interior the target, didn't get there. Brazzali will do the defending. Probably go back to his keeper. Gee, that's pretty light, but it will get there. Bobbles around, so always dangerous for the keeper. Panagaris now for the Croydon Kings. Commentary side, left-hand attacking side for the Croydon Kings. Long searching ball forward, ill-directed. Should be tidied up by Mullen, body checked. Play on, says the referee. Bailey under a little bit of pressure, chips the ball forward. Good control in the end there by Samaro. Takes on the defender, beats Brazzali. Tried to beat Klimek, but he ran into a brick wall, as you just saw. And Panagaris comes away with it.
Panagaris gets a long ball forward, trying to find Skeffington. Won't do so. Unfortunately for him, the ball went out. It'll be another throw in here. And Skeffington's telling his team to come out a little bit, and I totally agree with him. They're getting pushed back so far in their defence, and they're just asking Para Hills to come at them at the moment, which is a very dangerous thing to do, as Para Hills get ready to take this throw in now. To be Stevens.
It's nearly a time for Mark to, change things up a little bit. I mean, you've got three very demanding, tall guys in the back. As unorthodox as it may seem, maybe swing one of them up forward.
Yeah, something's going to happen.
No, I go with what Ryan said. Take off Thierry, put Skeffington a bit more central, or even Karachir for that matter. He's scored some goals.
Well, Karachir's aggressive at least, and something might happen. But at the moment, it's just nothing's happening in that last third. The ball's getting there, and here's an opportunity now for Toure. What can he do? He's got players, Para Hills players all around him. Can't get past those players. It'll be Para Hills here on the counter attack. Looking up there for Somaro. Can he get there? The ball goes out. Good work there by B2.
I don't want to be critical, Ryan, of the assistant on this side, but aren't you supposed to be in line with the last defender? I think he strays a little bit offline, this linesman. He goes a bit too high.
Seen it all day.
That is the general rules for a linesman, to be in line with the last.
But he's not doing that. Is that a fair comment, or is that my misperception?
Fair comment. Fair comment. That is part of the rule book.
Who's the match referee here today?
Sheldon?
Oh, take it easy. Martinello with a backheader to his keeper. I don't think he knew too much about it, but it was lucky in the end. So Munro goes to release Panagaris. Panagaris plays it central. D'Alfonso up the line, but only to Stevens for Para Hills. Oh, that was cheap. Cheap throw in there. Here you go. Here's possession back to you, boys.
Yeah.
Thought Stevens could have done a little bit better with that.
I agree with you, Paul. As Panagaris now gets ready to take the throw in. Goes all the way back to Brazzali. Brazzali has got to be a little bit careful here. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Munro now, with some time. Probably should use that space in front of him. He does. Just waiting for some movement. There's none there. Looking up there for Skeffington, gets his head to it. Good head, Alfonso now. What can he do? Can he get a shot on? Good work there with Alfonso. Can he square that ball? There's no one there.
He tried. No.
Makiura in the way there for Para Hills, and it will be Para Hills on the counter-attack here.
Samaro through the halfway line, goes wide. Played it behind the player there. Bit of a hospital ball, but he'll have a second bite at the cherry. Inboard to Butler. Done. Butler and Samaro combine on the far side, but getting there was Martinello in a very timely challenge. And a good challenge by the young boy.
And that's the difference today, right now, between Croydon and Para Hills, is when Para Hills break, they're breaking with not a structure, but at least with a little bit of a purpose. Croydon, they break and there's just nothing.
So you don't like Intierdi's positioning? Is that an issue for you, Ryan?
Don't like his overall game style, personally. I think he's just, he doesn't fall into a Premier League type striker.
Big call as Para Hills have the ball near their attacking corner flag. Skeffington should tidy up for the Croydon Kings. Here's the man in question, Intierdi. What can you do, son? Not much, obviously, and he can complain, though. That's a good Italian trait that he does have.
For me, Paul, I am critical, but I am fair as well. But we've seen him
today.
We've seen a fair few games of him, and he just has not delivered. Just doesn't deliver as what you want off the bench or when he starts. So you just need more from a striker.
Well, Croydon to make the change. That's going to be what you've been crying for, Ryan. No, it's Toure who's limping off, possibly.
Nope.
Yes. So Toure...
Nah, Abatu's coming off, boys.
So Abatu, defender off.
Going straight to on the race.
Straight swap.
And who's come on?
Number 13.
It's Kieran Stokes. So Abatu...
Straight swap, boys.
I reckon he's got some type of injury, Paul. Yeah. Some type of injury.
He ran off, didn't he? He ran off fresh.
He's got a wedding on, I reckon.
I think you're right. Spells the way he ran off. There are no signs of an injury. It's Panagaris now for the Croydon Kings. They trail the Para Hills Knights 1-0. D'Alfonso, what can he do? Wins a free kick for his team.
It was there. He was getting pulled back there, Paul.
Yep. Watch that on the replay as the cloud gives us a little bit of respite. Even a better picture. Well done to our camera boys, Chappie and Pete Senior. Struggling with that sun in their face.
Is there a Pete Junior?
Yeah, we have got a Pete Junior.
I'm just wondering.
Well, you think I made that up, Pete Senior?
Yeah. How you going there, Pete?
Senior. D'Alfonso with a floating free kick into the box. But Martinello was there, just couldn't get his noggin on it.
Boys, I just spoke to Abatu's father. Yes, he has a wedding. Spells you all right.
Spells you just.
He's got to go. He's got a plane to catch.
You are
you deadly serious?
Spells. You must have known that, mate.
No, I'm deadly serious. I just spoke with his father. He's just sitting right with me.
Whatever Spells says from now on, I'm just going to believe it.
But hang on, there's a bigger issue here. As a coach, why let him play?
I'm not sure, boys. I just found out from his father.
I think that's a very weird decision.
Yeah.
By the way, Coach, I've got to go 20 minutes into the second half. I mean, Tony, you've been a coach at this level. Would you accept that?
Never, mate.
Not at this level,
so
nah.
You make the choice. That's
and
what
even if I was an amateur coach, I wouldn't accept that either.
I would say you make the choice. You either want to play for this club or go to a wedding. You go after.
Well, that's right. You can't. Anyway, gee, that's an interesting one.
But obviously, Mark Brazzali's a nice guy. And
is he played the, well, we're short, I better take what I can get. Poor old Brazza. Is he being pushed into the corner?
I think Brazza was nice before the game. I think that decision.
You wouldn't want to go near him.
If you see him on the bench there, he's in a bit of a slump, so I don't think he's going to be too happy.
He was not in a good mood in the first half when the score was 0-0, so I wouldn't like to know what he's thinking right at the moment. But he's got bigger issues because he's got injuries left, right and centre at the moment, and whether Rocky Visconti's out for a little while, and you know he's certainly lost one of his experienced defenders today in Sanaski, and he'll be out for quite a while as Para Hills get beaten to the ball. Klimek now, who's been good. Can they get to this ball? Panagaris now, what can he do with it? They need players to go forward. They've still got 6 players back here.
Correct.
And they are losing 1-0. This is what I don't like.
No,
the defensive thought. I mean, you might as well lose 2-0. What's the difference?
Totally. And
you know, get players forward. But there's still 5 players back here, Paul. And the ball, they need to score that goal.
No, I don't think, in fairness, I don't think they just want to hack the ball forward and play
No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm talking about players streaming forward and closing that gap. If anything, use one striker less or one defender less, Paul. They need to get numbers in that box. There's no one there when they go forward.
Skeffington was there, but he's had the ball taken away from him, and Para Hills come out of it now through Stevens. Through their defensive half, that's off the side of the boot. Will Samara keep it in? He does so, to his credit, but Panagaris, Brazzali makes sure that he doesn't go any further. Sorry, Spells.
The old cherub comes in about work rate, you know, because that simple lack of work rate. That's not willing to push up the ground, because then I have to run back.
Exactly.
From the throw-in, I've turned it over, Para Hills. So
just quickly, boys, it is a debut also for the young number 13 from Croydon, Kieran Brooks. This is his debut in a big important. Kieran Stokes, sorry. A very important game. It's congratulations on his debut. It's always good to make a debut.
Brazzali goes to the far side. And speaking of the players, Stokes, another youngster, Martinello. So Brazza down to the bare bones, you would imagine. As the ball now in dispute. Might have been a free kick to Tyler Bailey. That's the way the referee sees it.
If you look down to the bench as well, you can see young Dominic Costanzo, the son of Angelo Costanzo.
Gee, he wouldn't be very old, would he?
17. I think 16?
That would be about close, because I mean, Angelo's not that old.
That's right. That's amazing.
I'm just wondering whether he's a defender like his dad or a different position.
He's a winger, a left winger, right winger, or
Are you sure
number
he's 17? He doesn't look 17.
He'd be he would not be any older than 16. It would be either 15 to 17.
That's right.
He'd be in that bracket there.
He's wearing the number 17, but...
Well, he's got a famous name. Let's hope he's half as good as what his father was.
Very skillful
That would
player.
make him a very good player.
Bit of pressure there from Tony Lascala, but the ball now for Croydon to... Oh, well done, Brazzali. Great defending. So they come out of it. Carachia now, still in their defensive half. Croydon gets support. Far side there. Slowing the movement.
That's terrible.
They just can't get the ball up.
Klimek goes back to his goalkeeper. Tony's pulling his hair out. Doesn't like this type of play.
I'm just saying that the defence should be moving up with the play, Paul, and they're not. They're static.
Stokes and Martinello, 2 youngsters in defence for the Croydon Kings. Maybe they're still a little bit nervous as Brazzali comes grandstand side, and that's out of play. Poor ball by Brazza. And we're going to the subs bench again. This will be the third and final one. Gee, that's pretty early. You've still got 20 minutes of
So it looks like maybe
time.
Karachi might go to the striker's position.
Thierry's coming off.
And Thierry's coming off. And
Touré's going to number 10, and Costanzo going into his favourite position of
on the wing.
Yeah,
well,
right
they need
wing.
some speed. They need to get the ball out wide and back into the middle, something that hasn't happened at all in this game from the Croydon point of view. But it'll be interesting to see.
No, sorry, boys. He's coming to the left wing.
Be interesting to see whether tactically he changes anything.
So Para Hills into attack. Butler and Kolalanchia combining. It's the latter that has the ball. Good first touch there by the youngster Domenico Costanzo. Named after his grandfather. He'd be very proud at the moment. He's here at the ground. Grandpop, Nonno, whatever you want to call him. Granddad. But it's Stevens who gives the hospital ball. Panagaris goes back to his keeper. And the Croydon Kings, who trail 1-0, 26 and a bit gone in this second half. And I've got to say, don't look like equalising at the moment, unless these subs can turn that around.
Touré's really dropped out of the game in the second half.
Hasn't been getting any services.
No,
Klimek
exactly.
now pushing through over the halfway line, but it's been cut out by Carter Bailey. Para Hills long ball. He'll direct it, so Klimek will get another bite at the cherry. D'Alfonso through ball. Karachi, the target, doesn't get there, and Piantadosi makes sure of the clearance in defence for the Para Hills Knights.
Gone with a very short attacking guys up there, so just going to have to keep the ball on the ground and try to pass through.
D'Alfonso now in possession. There's an opportunity now for Brazzali. Switches play. Panagaris. Oh, good work there.
Done, son.
Good work there. Good touch. Costanzo. But again, Croydon lose the ball. Good work by Skeffington, but he gives it straight back. Long ball here through from Para Hills. Looking up there for Jaconte. Can't get to it. Here's an opportunity for Kalalancha. Stevens goes in board. Jaconte leaves it for Kalalancha. Goes out wide. Here's a chance. Can they get a shot on? They do. But straight to the hands of Munro there. Luckily for him. Costanzo now in possession. Goes all the way back. Brazzali to his goalkeeper in Munro. Puts him under some type of pressure. Panagaris now. Commentary side. Gets it in ball. Gee, looking for Klimek. Put him under a lot of pressure. Now they need numbers forward. Klimek, good ball. This is going to be offside. No, it's not. He leaves it. Costanzo! It is.
Don't even try and predict that one, boys. We don't know. He did leave it. Karachi left it for Costanzo, thinking, okay, I'm offside. Maybe Costanzo isn't.
But that's. I didn't think Costanzo wasn't.
Well, as I said, don't even try and dispute that, because
Costanzo wasn't offside.
Sorry?
Costanzo wasn't.
All right, but he's...
But Karachi did not touch that ball.
Exactly right, so that's not offside.
So it shouldn't be offside.
In your view, but in the linesman view, has a 10 times better position than us, deemed it offside.
No, my point is, the player... Costanzo came from behind.
I know what you're saying. He wasn't live, and when he came live, the flag went up, and you're saying he wasn't offside.
Well, I don't think he was.
Well, we're in not a very good position to call that here, I've got to say.
The way they interpret that rule, boys, is they say Karachi, even though he didn't touch the ball, he still interferes with play.
We'll never know.
That's how they interpret that rule.
Anyway,
I think it's
Para Hills
wrong.
are making a change, and it's Kolalanchia coming off.
For number 8, boys, of Para Hills, the Japanese.
Shinya Yoshida.
For Croydon, they just play to their strengths. Their strengths at the moment is that front part now is pace. They've got to work the triangles. They've got to work the defenders off their shoulder. That's how they're going to get past through.
Ramsey with a big clearance up into attack now. Para Hills, Yoshida, first thing he does is give away a free kick. Thank you very much for coming, say Croydon, as now they break through Toure. He's up to the halfway line. Not too many yellow shirts in front of him. Samaro charges the ball down. Bailey, the captain. The Tyler type. But it'll be Munro with an ordinary clearance. Klimek under pressure. Martinello tidies it up. Karachi lays it off. D'Alfonso. Falcons. Marchioro. And Brazzali plays it short to Panagaris. Back to Brazzali. Still Croydon in their defensive half. They trail 1-0. Half an hour gone this second half. There's the young fella Stokes on the far side. Carrichier was the target, didn't get there. Ball in the middle of the park. Panagaris, another hospital ball. D'Alfonso's maybe done a hamstring.
Time he might have done his hamstring. That wasn't D'Alfonso, that's Skeffington.
He's holding his quad, I think, as a corky.
Yeah, quad, you're right. Ball on the far side. Torre still with Croydon. Clemic couldn't do too much with it. No one wanted it. Carrichier did. Toure does. Tried a through ball. D'Alfonso, he's got the ball now.
They've made their 3 subs.
That's so right. That's why I thought it's a bit early. But anyway, Stevens should tidy up for Para Hills and does so to the halfway line. Well, it was a bit early to go, all 3.
Skeffington will be fine, boys. It's just a dead leg. He just needs to run it off.
So Brazzali now in possession, goes inboard, finds Clemic. Clemic now, they just cannot pierce this defence. Mind you, some of those balls that they're pushing forward are pretty atrocious. That was...
the only way they're going to pierce is playing to their strength. They're going to have their triangles. They're going to have their quick movement of balls, and they're going to have to play off their defenders' shoulders. They can't play straight balls. Straight balls are easy for defenders to pick up and read.
Ryan, there is too much of a gap between the defence and the forward line at the moment. There's so much of a hole in that midfield that they're just not closing. And to me, that the numbers are not there for Croydon when they go forward.
Agreed,
so,
agreed.
Substitution for the Para Hills Knights. It looks like Chicomte coming off. And who's coming on the far side?
He's our fiery winger.
Mayol.
Yes. He always creates a little bit of a...
Just while we have this lull on this substitution, Campbelltown, thanks to the West Beach Pizza Bar, still lead Metro Stars 2-1. And Panthers still trail Adelaide City 2-0.
Butler's gone into the centre forward position, boys.
So Para Hills lead the game here 1-0. Just over 32 minutes gone this second half. Could have almost been a free kick there to Yoshida. But it's now brought back by the referee. Yep. And this will be a free kick to Croydon. Just forward of the halfway line, far side of the ground. So Croydon now, time not yet the enemy, and it's only 1-0. They can still grab something from this game and turn it on its head. But more importantly, have you seen any signs of that, Tony?
No, I haven't, and that's the disturbing part for me. They just don't even look like scoring at the moment. They haven't really created any opportunities or any shots to put Ramsey under any pressure. Good work there by Clemic. Gets it to Panagaris. And now they need to get numbers forward. Panagaris gets a ball. This should be picked up by the goalkeeper and Ramsey.
Oh, good pressure.
Who's had some great afternoon so far. Ramsey gets brought down by, was it Carrichier there?
Yep.
And Timothy Ramsey will get some attention from the trainer at the moment.
I'm going to be very critical there on Panagaris. That's a shocking ball. Look at Carrichier and look at your size striker.
Well, they don't really have any. They don't really have any height up there. You're right.
Well, that's a terrible decision. You're creating. You've moved forward as a fullback. You've got young Costanzo there asking for the ball. Create a 2v1. Then create a 2v1. Let him beat his fullback to put a whip ball in to allow your strikers an opportunity. What's
Maybe he just wasn't
that?
anticipating it being so close to the keeper. Just watching the replay there, he probably wanted to float it more towards the edge of the 6-yard box, where he probably got a bit too close to the keeper in defence.
But I think what we're saying is that that's not the type of game they should be playing. They haven't got any height up there.
Let's face it.
Trying to beat
the only way they're going to break this defence down is get the ball out wide. Get a low cross or ball, as Ryan said.
Allow your strikers and midfields to run onto it.
Yeah, to run onto it, because that's not happening. But that really, Croydon haven't created any width and to cross that ball in the whole second half. Maybe in the whole game. It just hasn't worked for them. And as you said, Ryan, they're trying to go through the middle. High balls and all, and it's just not working.
No fullback in the world of football enjoys being 2v1. No fullback in the world of football. I don't understand why they haven't even tested their fullbacks out. They keep trying the same game and going through the centre, and the centre backs are loving it. Straight balls for a centre back, it's easy to read. They'll have that all day. Thank you very much.
Para Hills the last time here, the last 8 outings here at the Paddocks against the Croydon Kings. They've only won once, believe it or not. One draw, and they've lost 6 times. Interesting stat.
Paul, I'll give you a stat. I don't think that Para Hills have ever lost a game that I've commentated.
Oh, blimey, Charlie.
There's a stat.
Para Hills have possession.
At this ground.
Lucky not to get one in the back, so good control there.
Oh, good work.
Stevens on the halfway line. Goes backwards. Para Hills Knights in possession. On the halfway line. Stevens looks up, goes long into the box, but dealt with easily there by the young fella in Stokes.
Good work.
Comes commentary side. Gee, there's going to be a turnover. Mayol now with a chance. So although he's shown too much of it to Klimek. And Croydon, Brazzali has been brilliant in defence, I've got to say. Ball up to the halfway line. So has Matkiordor for Para Hills. Not much has got past those two defenders. Tyler Bully, interesting ball. Plays it wide. Samaro giving chase. Young Stokes. Courageous stuff, son. Well done. Croydon under pressure. We should have won the free. Advantage was played, but now it's brought back because there was no advantage. Just watch that on the replay, boys. Young Stokes plays it up the line. And Martinello dumped.
And while we're going through that, I can say that the youngsters that have come on have been really good, Paul.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that Mark Brazzali would be really happy with Stokes. Also, Martinello has played well, and I like the movement of Costanzo too. I think he can play.
Boys, just a yellow card. Sorry, Tony. Butler
right.
with a yellow card for dissent.
Yep.
Good pick up because we didn't see that. Andrew Butler for Para Hills. Third yellow of the afternoon thanks to Chemist King Hectorville.
Well, they've still got 10, 15 minutes to change this game, but they've got to change what they're doing. I mean, they've got to be prepared to take a goal in order to score one. That's my opinion, and they're not doing that at the moment.
Ball's pushed wide by the Croydon Kings. Now it's on the halfway line. Yoshida couldn't control. Butler can. Plays it up the line, giving chase. Somaro, he's got the speed, but gee, maturity beyond his years there. Martinello, well done, son, and wins the free kick. Adam Martinello.
Oh.
And the referee just wants
what
to
was
take
wrong
him
with that?
Wants to take him back in the right spot, Tony.
I agree with you, Tony. The substitutions have come on. They've done really well. They haven't been sort of nervous with this type of pressure in today's game. They've come on and done a role.
And two defenders, mind you, as now Costanzo gives chase, but Stevens gets there first. Another cheap ball out of play by Stevens. Couldn't he have done a bit more with that, Tony? Am I being hard?
Well, we would have, Paul, but
no, I wouldn't have. No,
you've got your centre back. All you need to play is back to the centre back and let him clear the lines and not out, but up the park.
We could have almost taken on young Dominic Costanzo, but anyway, Klimek from the throw-in, Croydon into attack. They do trail 1-0 though. Para Hills have conceded a foul.
I take it.
Mayol disagreed, but Brazzali quickly taken, has the ball. Goes wide, wrong direction. Tony's waving his hands. Martinello gets it to the hot spot.
I'm waving my hands with you, Tony.
Oh, just cannot understand that, mate.
Para Hills turn it over. Brazzali on the halfway line. Goes backwards. Panagaris now. 38 and a bit gone this second half. Ball not going in the direction Tony wants it to go to. Or Ryan for that matter. And maybe Mark Brazzali. But maybe patience is what Brazzali's saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, Paul, I mean, we're not favouring any team. It's just that the style of play.
You just want to see an attacking game.
Yeah, I just want to see an attacking game, and it's not happening at the moment. Para Hills now looking the better team. Oh, gee, that
had to be centimetre perfect, though.
It was, as
Mayol
gets it taken away from him. Good work there by Panagaris, but again, just pushes it forward and finds no one. Here's Karachi. He's got to be careful. You've got to be careful, lad.
Even Mayol's got to be careful with his elbows there going up like that.
Well, he's allowed to protect himself.
No, you can't put the elbows up like that, can you?
He's got to be careful. That can be a dangerous play.
There is an area that you can protect yourself as long as you don't actually move those elbows.
Dosi's been good in defence for Para Hills, but it's D'Alfonso. But gee whiz, this fella's been good too. Matkiordor plays it up the line. Here's a chance now, Yoshida. Oh, he's almost dispossessed. Did well to keep his feet. Comes now to Mayol. The two substitutes combine. Mayol looks up into the hot spot. Who's there? Finds Brazzali, of all players, who hasn't put a foot wrong either. Mayol couldn't control that one, and that's gone out of play. Croydon throw in. 5.5 of normal time to go. And then whatever the referee sees fit to add on. Well, Croydon still trail 1-0.
There's been a lot of stoppage in this second half. As Para Hills now...
I thought we were going to cop that one.
That was Mullen there. Goes inboard, finds Klimek to Karacha. Good work there by Mullen. Gets brought down. That'll be a free kick to Para Hills.
He's had a good game as well, young Mullen. He's just they
just keep churning them out. Are they all related?
Yeah, I think they are. I think he's a cousin, actually. He's just a typical good centre midfielder. Nothing special. He's just a good worker, and he does his role.
I think you've got enough Mullins to actually make a team, wouldn't you, Ryan?
You'd be pretty close to a starting 11. No, actually, I was about to say, I don't think you have a striker, but I know Daniel Mullen, the son of Joe Michael, the son is a striker.
Stevens now from the free kick. Well, that's not a good one. That's a wasted opportunity for Para Hills. Torre will say thank you very much for the Croydon Kings. He plays it up the line, but that's poor ball. They've turned it over. Tyler Bailey now up the line. Samaro, the target, under pressure, did well, or does he? No. Martinello just as good. These youngsters are
Stokes,
good.
Boys. That was Stokes.
Stokesy, as now Para Hills come again. Here's a chance. It's with Stevens now. He'll get this to the tip of the hot spot, and a bit too high there in the end.
Ideal
for the
was there, though.
Butler. Yeah, great cross, but just a little bit too high for Butler.
His delivery's been not bad today, Stevens, from that right side of midfield or fullback position.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it just hasn't had anybody at the end of it. Munro...
Just check and see if he's got any leather on the boot.
Yes, I reckon. That's what I'm saying. It's, my count's been 105 now, but as it goes forward now, Piantadosi gets it forward. Should be cleared here by Brazzali. Brazzali gets it over.
Interesting.
Panagaris gets it inboard to Klimek.
Boys start thinking of the Claymore Wines man of the match.
Karacha. Good work there by... Bailey. Karacha now goes short. Toure. Can they get one last? That's a free kick, and that will be a yellow card there.
To Mullen.
And for the time of the game, a very good... as a coach, you would say, yep, no worries, because they were breaking there.
We'll take it, yep.
Boys, start getting your thoughts together for the Claymore Wines man of the match.
Well, I like the game of Makiora. I think he's had a fine game. I think Stevens has had a fairly good game, but Makiora for me, and I'll throw in Ramsey, who probably kept them in the game in that first half.
Very cool.
There you go. The rest of it you can fight over.
Unfortunately, all of the good Kings players have all been there back
yes.
and they just haven't done enough.
And I thought Rob had some type of rule that you can't give it to the losing
Rob's
team.
not here, is he? As D'Alfonso tries to get it into, got it into the box, but once again, Makiora with his head on it, hasn't put a foot wrong, but still Croydon into attack now. Gee, they go all the way back to the halfway line. That's Stokes.
Better pushing up. Be pleasing, Tony.
D'Alfonso up the line, but he's turned it over. Chance now for Yoshida for the Para Hills Knights. They're on a charge. They're on a break. Ball with Samaro now, far side. He's at the tip of the box. Angle against him. Needs some support. 2 white shirts in there, but he takes it to the corner flag. 88 and a bit gone in the game. Is that too early for that? He wants to win the corner. Keeps possession, so he's soaked up. He's done well. He's soaked up some time and has won the throw-in. Yeah.
How much out of time do you reckon? A couple of minutes maximum?
I wouldn't say any more than that.
Just because of substitutions?
What do you add on from the first half? Because 5 was a bit short for that first half.
Well, I thought it was, but they don't.
They don't?
No.
So it's Samaldo now with the throw for the Para Hills Knights. Game changer, man of the match. Gee, you could be right with Ramsey. How many saves has he had, Spells?
Well, I think he pulled off at least 3 good ones, didn't he, Spells?
Oh, absolutely.
Gee, we could be leaning towards a goalkeeper.
I wouldn't give him
no,
man of the match.
I mean,
who would you give man of the match?
I said my
Who's
3.
been outstanding?
I've said my 3. Nobody's been outstanding.
Correct.
But Makiora, for me, has probably been the man that's really held that defence together. And I'd have to throw in Stevens, only because, as you said, he's probably got no leather left on his boots.
Yeah, but that's just because he's been taking free
but
kicks.
Makiora for me.
Yeah, okay. Probably won't disagree with that. Unless Spells wants to add something to it. Ball in the middle of the park. Karacha. Croydon still might have a say in the result of this. As now they come through Panagaris. 1-0 down. Poor disposal. Ryan's laughing his head off, but I don't think Brazzali would be.
Tony's response.
Here's the other Brazzali. Nephew goes back to his keeper. Gee, Munro making hard work of that. Plays it to Stokes. Martinello could be next in the chain. But it's, in fact, gone in between 2 Croydon players. As now Samaro with the ball. Takes it to the corner flag again just to soak some time up. He's got 2 yellow shirts around him. Klimek and Martinello. And this time Croydon do win the throw.
Croydon now, probably one last roll of the dice, says Klimek now. Probably a couple of minutes to go at the most, I think. Toure have got to get it forward. Good work there by Toure. Beats 2 players, can't beat the third one.
Marchioro, there you go.
Ball goes out.
Nothing's past him.
No, nothing's past him. He's been brilliant this afternoon. As Croydon now, Panagaris.
Beautiful ball.
Just got nothing to go to. Looking out there for Costanzo, but gee, that's a terrible ball. He had 3 Para Hills players around him there. Had to go to his feet. Here's an opportunity on the counter now.
Was that offside, boys?
No, that
no way.
Looked close to me. Paul says no way.
Stokes
they get it in. Can they get a shot on? No, they can't. Well done. Here we are on the counter now. Klimek, they've got numbers forward this time. Looking out there for Costanzo. Now we'll see what he's made of. Costanzo with the ball. Good work, young lad. Gets it to the back post, and again, it's Macchiato. The man of the match for me has just about cleared everything that's come his way.
Skeffington was lurking too.
Had that gone over his head, it would have been a goal for sure. Mullen now gets it over to Stevens. Stevens finds Mayol. Mayol gets brought down. Klimek now in possession in the middle of the park. Gets it forward. Trying to find Karacha. Good clearance there by Piantadosi that time. Mayor gets it forward.
Yoshida's run out of steam.
Left. They've all run out of steam by the looks of it.
How can he have run out of steam?
He's a sub, isn't he? I don't know how much game time he's had and whether he's fit. That's the other thing.
Please.
He might not be fit.
He's not carrying as much weight.
As Toure now for Croydon. We've gone into the 2nd minute of extra time. Brazzali finds Panagaris. Panagaris, what can he do now? His disposal probably hasn't been the best this afternoon.
Nice.
Great work
That's what
there.
we're talking about.
Panagaris gets it in board, and that's a great clearance. And look at who it is.
Look at him, the big fella. He's
That
just
is
about
amazing
sealed the
work.
deal.
That's that bottle of wine.
He sealed the deal with that
sealed
header,
the deal.
Absolutely. Look at that diving header. Matthew Marchioro, Claymore Wines, man of the match.
But
fantastic.
I don't understand. It's taken him to the 90th minute.
It's just
to work.
ridiculous.
I said that
But Ryan,
20 minutes ago.
Ryan, they've pushed players forward too.
Adelaide City have defeated
They've
South
pushed
Adelaide
players
boys.
forward. They've gone to the wings to get into 2-on-1 positions, and balls like that will allow your strikers a chance and an opportunity for a shot on goal and cause panic in the defence. Straight balls do not cause panic.
This is going to be the last chance I'll let you call.
You think this would be the last roll of the dice for the Croydon Kings?
I think it will
Referee
be.
not happy with the jostling in the box. We've played 3 minutes of extra time. And referee Sheldon, referee Galanti there just sorting it all out in the box. Keep your hands to yourself, fellas. As Croydon, can they steal a point? Last roll of the dice, near post, poor corner. Easily dealt with.
Is that an anti-climax?
Very big anti-climax as Karachi might try put it in the hot spot.
Well,
the keeper's even up there. The keeper's up there as well, Tony. Are you happy with that? Klimek, what are they waiting for? Into the box. It's been flicked on, but cleared again by Piantadosi. Only as far as Martinello. Toure and Martinello combined. Martinello has the ball charged down.
Corner.
And guess what? Another 2v1 onto the fullback.
Well done, Samaro. Good defending, Para Hills.
Para Hills are making a substitution, boys.
Well, this is just to soak the clock. In fact, the
Little
referee's
too
not
late.
even going to allow it. Right foot out, swing it. That's a little bit better. Keeper's up there. Almost got his head on it. Marchioro again in the way, as he has been all afternoon, and that should
have
be
a shot, lad.
just
Have a
about
shot,
that.
lad.
There's no goalkeeper.
Game
Full time, fellas. Game over. Full time whistle. An entertaining last 8 minutes there, boys. But where was that urgency from the Croydon Kings earlier on?
I don't know.
Karachi looked like he's got a wedding to go to. No, he's just going to kick the ball in frustration.
He would be an angry little
What are you doing?
young
Don't
man.
go up there, son.
I'm just
What are
trying
you
to
doing?
put it out the way so I don't...
Put it between your legs, as you've probably heard on many occasions. Let's keep these cables out of the way, Tony.
Yeah, Paul, we had to wait until the
There's
last...
another fella going off for a wedding, is it?
He's got an engagement.
Engagement, okay, fair enough.
But, gee...
Well, where was that urgency, you're probably thinking, Tony? But to Para Hills' credit, they held on and held firm. And it's a victory, a 1-0 victory to the Para Hills Knights. Now, it was only myself and Ryan who predicted that at the start of the game. What's wrong with you, Marv Edge? As he's coming over here to get the wine, the Claymore Wines presentation. And it's going to be Matthew Matkioro, who hasn't put a foot wrong all afternoon.
Thoroughly deserved, and thoroughly deserved victory by Para Hills. I mean, you sit here looking at Croydon and, you know, we've seen him a bit. I've been a bit lucky selecting him once or twice this year, but in general, again, looking their for and against and all of that sort of thing, just not really good enough from them today.
Gee, the game's still not over at Campbelltown. 2-1 in favour of Campbelltown. Adelaide City running out 2-0 victors over South Adelaide. And it's Ryan Marveggio down there.
I think this is one of the great things too, you know, with having a guy like Markioro, who's not, you know, not flashy, etc., etc. He's just serviceable. He does his job. He's just rock solid. He doesn't play out of position. He commits himself, and he's taken our Claymore Player of the Match award today.
And the Para Hills faithful just acknowledging their team as they come off the park. A gritty 1-0 win.
And my record is intact, Paul. I still haven't lost a game.
I reckon our record's intact. We've had a lot of luck for these guys.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever commentated a game where they've lost.
How many games played though, Tony?
Oh, quite a few, Paul, over the years.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll go down to our boundary rider, thanks to Dry Creek Auto Wreckers, to make the Claymore Wines Man of the Match presentation from Para Hills Knights, Matthew Matkioro.
Matthew, congratulations. You're our Claymore Man of the Match. Well done. Here's for you. He's not a Liverpool supporter, his dad is, so hopefully he enjoys that bottle of wine. Matthew, fantastic game today. You started off a little slow. First 15 minutes you were a little bit slow, a little bit rattled, but then you worked yourself into the game. You got a goal, deservingly goal, before half-time, and then you came out with a bit of the same content, really pushed Croydon back into the half. How do you guys feel that your game went today?
Yeah, well, that basically was our game plan. The thing we're best at is being compact and not getting broken down real easy, and that was what we did today. We didn't want to give... Well, we started off a bit shaky and gave them a couple of chances, but credit to our goalie. But after that, we just shut them down, and we're very happy with that win. We needed that bad, so we're very happy, and we'll get back onto next week and try to do it again.
Today's wins, those points, push you ahead of Croydon now. It gives you that little bit of that breathing space from those bottom two. Like you said, an important 3 points. Do you look on to next week? What do you do now for next week?
I think our next 4 games are actually against teams around us, so we're going to have to. It's basically it's a massive month for us, so we're just going to have to keep taking it game by game, and just put on performances like we did today and move up that ladder.
You got young Isaac Mullen in the midfield. A great game by him today. He does his job well. He's not a flashy type midfielder. He's just a hard-working type midfielder.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's come out of nowhere, really. Obviously, we had Alex Mullen in here last year, so what better way to replace Alex than with his cousin? So he's come on board and he's done wonderful for us.
I want to speak about yourself. Man of the match, excellent game, well defended today. You really kept their centre forward really quiet. Great diving header right at the end there. Yourself as a player, you've come back in this year, that's right. You had a couple of years out of the game. What made your decision to come back in? To help the club? You got asked, or you just got that rekindled passion again for football?
Yeah, I started off here the start of last year, and then I ended up, I just fell out of love with it a little bit, and I've been doing it for so long. I just sort of needed a break, and I got 2 brothers that play in the amateur league, and like I said, I lost a bit of love, and I thought, what better way to get it back than go play my brothers, have a bit of fun, and I don't regret it for 1 second, because it gave me my love back. And I gave Para Hills a phone call and asked to come back out, and they were happy for me to come back out, and it took me a few weeks to get back into it, but I feel like I'm slowly getting back to my best, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Definitely slowly getting back to your best. You yourself and the other centre back there in Piantadosi really forming a really good partnership there. It was really hard to break you through today. You're saying you've got 4 big games coming up. Where to now for this squad? What do you need to do for the next 4 games? You take 1 step at a time. You've got a few big injuries. Is it just get onto the training pack and keep grinding at your strength and keep playing and training on what you need to do to improve on for those 4 games?
Yeah, definitely. We've got to get better every week. to be fair to us, we probably, apart from the second half against Metro last week, we feel we've had a good last month. When they lost 1-0 to Adelaide City, we hate losing, but we played really well. We haven't been playing too bad, actually, so we just got to keep doing what we've been doing. And that's hard work and sticking to our strengths, and if it comes off like it did today, happy days.
Boys, far away to young Matthew, average age Matthew, old Matthew, what do I say? Young Matthew? You looked young today.
Compared to you, he's young, mate, so just don't flatter yourself too much out there, Ryan. Matthew, well done, congratulations. And firstly, you did acknowledge your goalkeeper, who you were sort of going to go head-to-head for the man of the match, because he did keep you in the game a fair bit, but your defence was really good today. Yeah, definitely. Timmy, we probably could have walked off 2-0 down at half-time, so Timmy definitely kept us in it, but the back four, I think we all played really well today. It's our first clean sheet for a while, so we're very happy with that. And we'll keep on doing that every week, hopefully.
Yeah, Matthew, players like Gigomte and Colancio impressed me. I think their work rate is really good. I mean, you've got the basis of a really good team there. Quite a few youngsters coming through. So, I mean, if you can just stay in the major league, I think it looks bright for Para Hills.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've got a very good squad here. Like I said, our last month hasn't actually been too bad. We just when you're down the bottom of the ladder, you miss that little bit of luck, and you lose a couple in a row. But we've been pretty positive for the last month, so it's great to get a win like that. And like I said, hopefully we roll on from here. So what do you think the plan is, Matthew, for Para Hills? Is it survival? Because you are going to be in a battle down there at the wrong end of the table. In saying that, though, you've jumped to 8th spot because there is a lot of congestion near the bottom. But is it survival, or do you think you can actually make a tilt for that top 6? Well, definitely we want to play finals. That's our ultimate goal. Look, we've found ourselves in a very bad position, so at the moment we've got to, I guess we have to avoid getting too far down the ladder, and the later on it goes in the season, it's going to be tougher to get out of there. But like I said, our next month will probably determine where we're going to finish, but definitely want to play finals football for sure.
And obviously, after today's result, I mean, the confidence will jump back in, and it's a great result for Para Hills. We said it was a really important game for you, and the way it's turned out, that 3 points is a major asset to you, and not just for where you are in the ladder, but also for the confidence of the club. Yeah, definitely. That's something we talked about midweek. Croydon are one of the teams around us, so it's basically a 6-pointer for us in the position we're in. So we knew how important today was, and we had a good week on the track, and we've got the points today, so we'll look to do that again next week. Matthew, in fairness to the Croydon Kings, they were a bit undermanned, two big names out of that squad. Was that spoken about in the dressing room in regards to we smell blood, we can get them today? No, not really. We didn't know that until just before the game, so we didn't plan for anything like that. We didn't know until, like I said, when we rocked up today. So, but yeah, obviously with 2 players of their calibre out of the team, it does sort of lift you a little bit, but yeah, we didn't plan for it. Good to see you back out there, mate, and you've rekindled the fire, so keep it up. Congratulations on the Claymore Wines man of the match today, Matthew. Very well done. Thanks very much, guys. Good job, appreciate it. They're up into 8th, boys, but there are still 3 games to play tomorrow. But when you say breathing space, Tony, it just means Olympic have dropped down now to 11th. They're on 11 points. These lads are still only on 12. There's really only a 1-point breather in regards to 4 or 5 teams down the bottom. No, you're right, Paul, but had they lost today, they would have been under a lot of pressure. The fact that they've actually won has put them in that 4 or 5 other teams there, and it gives them a bit of heart now to say, okay, we're amongst those teams now, we can go higher. Had they lost today, they would have been stuck on that, 9 points or so, would have put them in a real precarious situation. Hey, we're a little like a broken record, but last game we saw 7th versus 11th, etc., and 11th won. This week we've seen, a similar type of matchup, and the bottom team won. So, we know how. So what are you saying, Spills? Tense and tight this competition is. Are you saying you're not going to be watching the Royal Wedding tonight, and you're going to watch a replay of this game? Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm not sure about the Royal Wedding, mate. So that makes 2 of us. I'm going to watch the replay. Croydon. I'm probably the only Pom here, so... Braz has got a few issues, hasn't he, to sort out now? Look, Braz has got all sorts of things to worry about. He's venturing towards, potentially to get into an FFA Cup and then go and take on, the best Australia's got to offer. So there's a lot going on for them. Is that maybe why those 2 players weren't playing today? Did we find out? Was it a confirmed injury, Ryan? I wouldn't have thought so. Visconti and Radic? Can't comment.
well, what's that mean?
Maybe
I'm not sure.
Maybe
I can't
well,
comment because I'm not
okay.
sure. So I'm really not sure. For
He
me,
looks a bit coy, doesn't he? As if he's hiding something.
for me, if I was a coach and Brazza can take this the way he would like to take it, I would be concentrating on the league. Because you're now facing a self-relegation battle.
Exactly.
Even though you didn't get even if you got the win today, you're still around that mark.
But we're only halfway through the season.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You need confidence within your team.
He can go on the national stage, Tony, if they win the FFA Cup.
I agree with Ryan. I mean, they've got to be part of the NPL. They've got to be part of the Premier League.
Well, it's only
They've
halfway
got to be
through
part
the
of the
season.
Premier League.
As you get relegated,
that's their first thing.
When you get relegated, it's very hard to get back up, and you can find Raiders have now been there for 2 years in a row. Blue Eagles may not get promoted. It's the second division is a tough league. There's big clubs there looking to get promoted.
Look, if he's done that, that's his prerogative. Maybe they had niggly injuries and he didn't want to risk them,
which is understandable as well.
That extra week may have put him in line to play for that cup. But at the end of the day, to me, this is the competition.
Matthew stated it very well. The next month is teams around them. It's a big month. Every game they win is a 6-pointer. So for me, league at the moment, because it's very, very tight, a win today for Para Hills has pushed them up to 8th now, 2 spots out of the 6. A loss can push them back down. It's a very tight league. You've got to concentrate on the league.
That was the worst I've seen Croydon play in watching them over the last 3, 4, 5 years.
It shows how much Radici and Visconti play in this team.
Yeah, and that's absolutely touch of class in any sport, in any team.
But can Brazza see what you saw about the youngsters today? They
that's
didn't look
you
intimidated,
might as well, but
they didn't look intimidated.
Their setup didn't look right.
The only
today.
problem that I see that Croydon has is not defensively, because at the end of the day, we've just seen that 2 youngsters come on. They've got potential there. They've got nothing in the forward line. Yep. They've got nothing in the forward line. You know, their finishing is not good. Even with Radici there, their record is not as good as
they've only scored 16 goals this season.
Even with Radici there, they need support for Radici, and they don't have that other striker.
Boys, I've got to say,
or that finisher.
If we could do a snapshot to last year, there'd be just finer differences between them last year and this year.
No, you know what it is?
And they went top.
Spells, but you know what it is McGreevy was a goal scorer.
That's true.
They haven't recruited their squad. A good club shows their squad when you're going to get injuries throughout the season, regardless. That's happened. Suspensions, injuries. Unfortunate, it's been to Radici and Visconti. But a good club, a good squad. If you look at your topper teams, they have good depth.
And you're right, mate.
And they haven't recruited right.
They probably
your upper level or your
higher?
team placed higher, you know what I mean? However you want to have a look at it. Yeah, they have good squad. They have a good squad. They have great depth. And a great club, when they get tested with that depth, show.
I just want to bring you back on a point that you said they've only scored 16 goals this season. In the bottom half of the table, from 7 down, they're not the worst. In fact, they're probably the best, because Burkell have only scored 10. South Adelaide 15, Adelaide Olympic 13, and poor old Sturt Lions 6.
Yeah,
so
but
we
just made the point.
Higher than that.
7 down. 7 down. That's why they're all there, because they can't score.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, okay, if you want to go one up, West Adelaide have only scored 13 goals this season.
Go to the top 4 teams.
Well, hang on, I'm just telling you just above
that's
that.
what I'm saying. That's why these clubs are sitting where they are.
But West Adelaide's in the 6 with 13 goals scored this season.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've won their last 3 games. Before that, Jim Karatzis. But
makes for a tight league, boys.
Makes for a tight league. And I just don't think Croydon have recruited well in the off-season.
Is that Rob Peppicelli crying in the background?
I think you're right. And that's the pertinent point, Ryan. And I know you've been all over him and on today's effort, you know, fair enough perhaps. But they probably looked and thought, we're bringing in a 6-foot forward, central forward, Entreri. He could be our go-to guy, and he just hasn't shaped up.
But do you research these players, or do you get players on trial before you sign players? Because, geez, you could see in a week's training that what his calibre is. Even in one training session, good clubs can see that. Good people can pick that up.
Oh, who's the option? But it happens who's the option, Ryan?
There's heaps of options.
Yeah, but Ryan, that happens in the major leagues.
Exactly right.
You know, but then players come over here and they're
But
not what they think.
Exactly right. But then the onus goes on to the club, because they're the ones that sign them. They're the ones that look at these players. That's the onus. The onus has to fall back onto the club.
Who's the head of scouting at the Croydon Kings?
I tell you what, I would love a job like that to scout, because...
Jeez, you'd be a hard taskmaster.
You have to be.
And they'd only come out here if they were any good, I can tell you.
Well, Tony, you have to be. You have to be a hard taskmaster.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of players come out of here, Ryan, even playing for the major leagues and the next level up, that have been atrocious.
Atrocious. And then the owner should fall back on the club, or whoever signs these players.
Okay,
anyway, let's not...
Well, let's keep that for another day, boys, because it's getting dark and it's getting cold. Spells.
At the end of the day...
Some quick stats?
Oh, I was a bit poor in the second half, but with my stats, it was, you know, pretty similar. To be quite frank, there weren't a lot of shots on goal, a few right at the end. You know, there was just a similar sort of foul count, which was perhaps the most prominent stat of the day.
I was going to actually say something there, Spells, when Tony said that's Pierce Stevens' 105th free kick or corner or touch. I was going to say, that sounds like Spells. Pluck a number and call yourself a stats man.
I have nothing to offer.
I know we've got to do a 3-2-1, so in fairness to Rob Perpicelli not being here with us in the Sunshine State, whatever the hell they call it up there. So obviously 3 points went to Matthew Marchioro, who won the Claymore Wines Man of the Match. 2 points will give to the keeper Timothy Ramsey, who kept him in the game, because 1-0.
Disagree.
Fair call.
Anyone for third?
P. Stevens.
Just because he kicked the leather off his boot.
105 kicks.
105
it's pretty good day out.
Look, I would
Rob's just SMS us. What's wrong with you? Plenty, Rob, if you're watching.
I thought Klimek had a very good game for Croydon. I thought he was probably the only player that was worthy.
Can we do that, Rob? Can we give 1 point to at least someone from the losing team? We'll give 1 point to Klimek, and Robbie can deal with us next week. Just some final scores. Campbelltown did beat the Metro Stars 2-1, and of course here Para Hills Knights beat Croydon Kings 1-0, and South Adelaide lost 2-0 to Adelaide City, which is a good turnaround from round one.
Definitely is.
Also 3 games tomorrow, which I have somewhere. Yes, West Torrens Burkalla to take on the Adelaide Comets tomorrow. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. 3:15 tomorrow, the Adelaide United Youth take on Sturt Line. And at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, West Adelaide... Is that you, Rob? Yes. West Adelaide host Adelaide Olympic in the Greek Derby. So that would be a good game to go down and watch as a neutral. 5 o'clock tomorrow, West Adelaide and Olympic Greek Derby.
Where are they playing that game?
Well, I believe West Adelaide's ground isn't quite ready for us. It's up there on the...
I've got some news on that West Adelaide ground, actually.
Just hold on to that, because we just want to promote the FFA Cup prelim games coming up this week. Tuesday night, as you can see on screen, 6:30, Cumberland host the Adelaide Comets. And on Wednesday night at 7 p.m, Mulberry Jets take on the Croydon Kings. So the winner of those two, bang into the grand final, which was the old Federation Cup, which is the ticket to the FFA Cup Australia-wide. So
and I think they're showpiecing that game on the June long weekend on the Monday.
On the Monday,
yes.
Correct.
That's correct. So it'll be a standalone fixture, which
you'll be
we
here
will
for.
be covering.
Yes, and you'll be here next week as well.
Thank you, Paul.
We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast, telecast, for those listening through Adelaide Web Radio and those watching through Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We hope you've enjoyed it. To our entire Live Streaming Australia team, Jimbo there, our producer right next to us today, Chappie, Pete Senior, that's your surname, not your age, and also Ryan Marveggio, our boundary rider, Bomber and Cassandra in the background, just our support team for keeping it all real and keeping us on track, and Andrew Sperling, Tony Lascala and Paul Pellizzari. We hope you've enjoyed it. Until next week, from the entire team of Live Streaming Australia, it's good night.
Gives you unlimited windscreen repair or replacement.
Really?
Which might come in handy living next to a golf course.
Golf course?
We do more. Get a quote today.